Are you using what program are you using?
This is StreamYard.
Oh, you okay? You use StreamYard even for YouTube Live?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I've been used Streamlabs OBS, and so far had some success with it.
Hi everybody. Welcome to the show. As you can see, we've got another guest on tonight. And no, Eric, there's no countdown intro on this one. I've not paid for StreamYard yet. I'm just using the free version for now. But next time I may pay for it and put an intro in. And as you can see, one or two of you might know this guest. This is Mr. Brian Bauer. For those of you that don't know, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, frig, I could see myself.
Yeah. I'll put you on big screen.
Oh, you put me on the big screen? Oh, crap. Okay. So I'm putting up our thing here on the side as well. I'm just getting set up myself. So I'm going to just mimic myself in a video when I was in grade 5. And I go, hi, my name is Brian. Okay, so I'm actually Brian Bauer, and not a phony, like a real one. Not that there's another one out there. I'm not that cool. Yeah, I'm one of Lee's buddies. We've been talking a while, man.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm a guitar YouTuber, all that stuff. I talk a lot about guitars, but I originally was music and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I'm just a general all around goof. I just have fun with doing this stuff, and I've met some cool people along the way. So yeah, thanks for inviting me to come on the show.
Anytime, man. Let's unscare people now and bring both of us back on.
Can you see the chat here in StreamYard too?
Yes, you can. So if you there should be at the right hand side of the screen, there's private chat and comments. If you press comments.
Oh, okay. I see the comments. I see.
So we've got a few people in.
So we've got Ashley. Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, Simo. Hi, Simo. Scout Allen, Daryl, Eric, Shane Gibson, Spice and Easy Fee. How you doing, Fee? Ashley, my other half there. So yeah, welcome everybody.
Awesome. This is super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully Night Bottle kick in a minute and start spamming your link as well.
Yeah, that's sweet. I just posted it up on Facebook as well. Not that Facebook and sharing YouTube videos these days is like the same people like the video every single time. I swear nobody in my local area likes them at all anymore. It's literally you guys.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. Yeah, it's the same. Oh yeah, Alan, how are you doing, pal?
How am I doing? I'm pretty good for being up since 5:30 on a Sunday. You know,
I
decided to go fishing with Dad for a bit this morning. And, we're trying out a new boat motor and stuff today. But you know what? It was amazing to get out of the house. Can't really do too much, really around people per se. So I'm trying to just stick around a couple people at this point in time.
Yeah.
Thanks to the coronavirus,
the human malware.
Yeah, I don't like that. But hey, don't we get? No, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that one. I realize.
No, we're not doing that one today. No.
I'm glad I can see the chat over here. This is great. So,
yeah. Well, the good thing about StreamYard is we can show it up on screen.
Oh yeah. I'm still learning this streaming thing myself. Like just getting anything to work. One of these days, I'd actually like to do a live show on here.
Yeah, that's my intention as well. At some point, so I've just upgraded the PC, so
yeah.
I'm still in the process of downloading everything, installing everything. You know how it is. But
yeah.
But hopefully, if Nightbot works, we might have some giveaways later on.
Today? Like on the stream?
Yeah.
What are they going to have to do? Guess what day is my birthday?
Well, for the first one, I might just do it as
first person says today. I'll get to
Hey, I might put that in as a keyword.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I might do that as a keyword. But yeah, with Nightbot, you can do it either as keyword or as active people in the chat.
That's awesome, man. So now my curiosity has to be like, what did you get for a new computer? Like, what specs did you get?
Well, it's not the top spec.
Nothing is these days. Everything
no, it's not. Well, I mainly went for I went for a tower this time because I had one of these all-in-one PCs, so basically a glorified laptop. That was a Ryzen 5, but it was a second gen. I've got a Ryzen 3, but it's a third gen, but it's got dedicated graphics card in with it as well. And it only came with 8 meg memory, so I've upgraded the memory. It's got terabyte hard drive. At some point, I'm going to put an M.2 drive in it as well.
Yeah. So I just built a new computer as well. I still have my old one. It's upstairs, but the key issue is now I went pretty beefy on some stuff. I managed to score a Ryzen 5600X, which the second those were released last November, gone. Scalper City. All everything was just wiped out. You couldn't get it. And I waited it out. And I had a few parts. I had my memory and stuff already. And one day I was hey, Mind Scrub. And so I happened to call Canada Computers. They kind of said, well, we expect to have a shipment in a few weeks. Happened to find that they had some. So I claimed one online, but how they went about it is that you couldn't get them shipped to your house. You could buy one and you had to go get it in person. So I get it. And the next day I was just dealing with something with work. I'm like, okay, as soon as this is done, out the door, I'm picking that up before they decide to sell it. And so I did that. So then I got the rest of the parts. It's video cards. It's the death of me right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the plan originally to build one. Because for the same money I paid for this, I could have got a really spec'd out PC, but for price of CPUs and graphics cards at the minute, it's just ridiculous. And even getting older graphics cards, it's like searching for the proverbial rocking horse poop.
No, man, I'm trying this hot stock IO thing now to see if I can get a legit one. I just saw the other day, I think it could be a couple months from now, 2 to 3 months. It could be something coming along. So I'm using my old 960. And trust me, the new Premiere Pro that I'm using to edit my videos and that video card, it's so throttled back. It's just horrid.
Well, the graphics card that came with this is the RX 5500, and I've edited 3 or 4 videos that should be coming out soon, and video editing went like that. Was
nice.
Absolute breeze.
Yeah. The problem that I also have that this is kind of a bit of my fault too, is that since I've upgraded to mirrorless about a year or some ago, and then one day I got a new monitor that's better for color grades, so and all that stuff. I started filming in 4K, and everybody's like 4K, 4K, 4K. 4K takes a lot of processing power.
It does.
Like where I have a very high res monitor stuff, I can see all the details. It's amazing for doing photo edits in that sense, but it takes a lot of power. And unfortunately, with the old card, new program, I can't render with the video card, and certain effects require GPU rendering.
Yeah.
And so when it requires that, all of a sudden I put something together one day. I thought, love the edits, looking great. Export it, and then I'm looking at it. It says, "Oh, this requires GPU rendering," and I'm just like, "That was baked into the video." I'm like, "No." So I'm learning what works with CPU, what works with GPU.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the end of the summer, or hopefully sooner, I can, we get the call that I can give you somebody $1,000 to buy a new video card. Hooray. Thanks to Bitcoin miners. So that's one of the things that's slowing. It's not really slowing me down. I'm learning to work with it. It hasn't sped it up.
Jeez,
hit the like button, everybody. And Oh, I see Stream Element says subscribe to my channel. That's super cool. There's a bot that says subscribe to my channel now.
Yeah, that's one of the bots. I've got Stream Elements and Nightbot running.
Yeah. That's a new world to me. I haven't figured it out. I've only done one official high quality stream. I did a test one that ended up being 45 minutes. It was super cool because people started talking in the chat, and I was like, well, that's awesome. So instead of 10 minutes, I didn't even know it was live until a friend of mine, he's like, hey man, I'm like, oh crap, okay, this is actually working.
And well, that's it. I mean, I did a couple of test streams a while ago, and it's like, yeah, I'll just quick test, 10-15 minutes, 2 hours later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. But it's all about having fun, right?
Exactly.
I try. Hey, thanks, Chris. Yeah. So I do the odd one. Hey, Valeria. Yeah, man. All the cool people are here. I see Spice It Easy's here.
Spice It Easy, yes, Simo, Eric.
Yeah, and, there's a few Simo. Oh, he was on one of your last streams, right?
That's right. Reviewer. Yeah. He does beer reviews.
Yeah, that was good. I watched one of those. I think I watch a fair amount of the stream when I'm around. One thing I feel bad about is the time zones with things.
Yeah.
Where this one worked out super well for me. Like I just was able to eat, make a coffee. Now I'm kind of like I'm good to like chill for a while and do this. There's nothing. I don't have anything else left on my plate except bring a couple hoodies in off the line outside as I did laundry. Because sometimes you have to be an adult and you can't always do.
Oh, that adult stuff's just boring.
It is boring, but people are like, hey, you do such exciting stuff. Yeah, I work all week. No, but the problem with the time zones in these streams is that I almost always miss Corey Ogden streams, which sucks. But last week, the time that was perfect, I couldn't be there the whole time. I left it running. I noticed Thomas McRockland does them at a time that's pretty good for me. It's like right around now, and I joined the last couple of those, and that was super cool. He does good. Cookie Monster have a badge, Mr. Evil Wizard, please, man. I think you should give him one.
Oh, Cookie Monster. And the £2 super chat.
So what's the maybe you should tell us about the lion and the I guess I can't think of the orange guy's name. Animal.
That's Animal.
Animal. Oh, okay, good. I got it right. I almost called him Munster.
No, that's Herman Munster.
Screw so much up. So what's the deal with Mr. Lion and Animal? I almost called him Munster again.
Did they just appear in videos every now and again, just randomly?
Yeah,
that's why I've got a playlist called Puppet Metal.
Yeah, and you need to have a cover of Master of Puppets and them going like Master.
Yeah,
but maybe like puppet voices, lyrics, vocals. They've arrived. Hey, what's going on, dude? W is here. Deaf World. I forget your actual name, but yeah, no, it's super cool. Where's your Lee shirt? Upstairs. That's where my Lee shirt is. I'm wearing Godzilla right at the moment. I changed so for the stream, and now I don't even have my face. I don't even have the shirt on here. I could have just wore the gray T-shirt I was wearing, but
yeah,
it's a metal show.
I've still got my Slayer one on. I'm part of the Great Unwashed.
I gotta ask you, how many times have you seen Slayer live?
Yes, many times.
Oh yeah, lucky. And
when did I see him for first time? About 89, I think. 89, 90-ish on the Clash of the Titans tour.
Okay, well, at 89, 90-ish, I was definitely too young to be at a Slayer show. But yeah, I saw them in 2010 on Canadian Carnage. It was American and Canadian Carnage.
Cool.
And the show was actually announced in 2009. It was canceled twice before it happened. Tom Araya at the time, he headbanged so much at the trying to think of the word cartilage in his neck. He like compressed it so much from doing this all the time, going hard. Like that band went hard on stage.
Oh yes.
I mean, they were great in that sense. And anyways, that kept getting canceled. So the first run was supposed to be Megadeth, Slayer, Suicide Silence and something else. I don't remember the other band off the top of my head. And then it got canceled. They re-announced it, canceled again. I was surprised it ever happened. And then finally, like the next summer, it finally happened, and it was with Testament opening instead, which I thought was way better than Suicide Silence. I never cared for Suicide Silence. Yeah,
Peter's in the house.
Well, it's technically the Lee Armitage hour, but I mean,
it's the Bauer Power Hour.
Fredlin called me a motor mouth in my last. He's like, anybody ever call you a motor mouth? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they have.
But yeah, when Clash of the Titans, first time I saw them, it was Slayer, Megadeth co-headlining, Testament, and Suicidal Tendencies.
Oh, frig. Suicidal Tendencies is awesome too. Not all of it's awesome, but some of it's like super good. Institutionalized. I know some people say they don't like the remake, but I think I know the remake in my head better than the original. And I always liked that
Chris.
one. Oh man, they're paying you money.
I know.
This is like tokens on what's that website called where they pay the cam people? Like I'm gonna say cam people because there's like guys and girls on there. Frig, I keep getting screwed up on what it is. Can't think of it. I'm too tired. Like the caffeine's talking, not me. There's a dude on Discord. He's like so open. Like, yeah, I was just sitting there drinking some beers, watching this like thing, basically where they give the tokens and they start doing things like, you can pay me more, I'll take my hat off. If you guys pay enough in super chat, I'll take my hat off. They'll stop. I'm sorry, I just ruined any money you're gonna make.
Oh no, yeah.
They've seen my bald head before. It's nothing new to them.
Yeah. Hey, we've seen Alan's bald head, so it's all good. Alan from Spice and Easy.
Oh yeah. Man, I would totally get the Spice and Easy spices if they would ever actually make it to Canada. The post service, I remember they were saying it was pretty bad.
They sent some to Canada. One of their regulars. I don't know if you've seen him in chat, TG, but it does take a while for them to get through to him.
Hey, Alex, what's up, man? That was like the only guy. Oh no, that's not the only one in the chat, but he used to live not super far from me.
Hey, Alex.
We never actually met, but yeah, and then you moved. But yeah, no, I like making like butter chicken and things like that. So I mean, I enjoy cooking. So
if you ever do get a chance to get their spice packs, the butter chicken is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
and that's coming from somebody who don't normally eat curries.
Oh yeah, I used to think I wouldn't like that stuff years ago. I was like, wait, yes, I do. It's really awesome. So I learned to make it and stuff. It's my birthday. It's always my birthday. See,
it's his birthday every. Oh, that's something. It's his birthday every day. Deaf World.
Yeah. I remember the day. I remember the day that started too. I was sitting on ice somewhere.
Cheers, Timo. Simon's happy. His football team or soccer team, as you call them, have won a cup final today. They've won a cup, so he's happy.
What league's that? Is it Premier or?
Yeah, the Premier League. Yeah,
isn't there another one?
It's not the actual league that they've won. It's a separate cup competition.
Ah, gotcha. And let's see. I'm just gonna read the chat. I'm actually 780 years old. Amazing. Yeah, I probably am that old. I still remember though the day that happened is that Stefan Lang, he just wrote "Happy Birthday" to me in the chat, and then I'm like, it's not my birthday, and then people fell for it.
Yeah,
this is when I was on the old channel, and then it just snowballed, and people fall for it, and it kept happening. And then there was like a while, I could go like 5 hours, not even open Discord, and I would just get a random tag, "Happy Birthday." It has never died.
That's never going away. That is never going away.
I love the fact that they that there was people that was like falling for it too, and it's like, and then they come in. Some new person would come in, and they'd be like, "Oh, happy birthday, dude! Yeah, thanks." And then the next day they'd see it again, like, "What the fuck?"
All right, go on then, Scouse. What question have you got for us?
I gotta read it. Where's it at?
Yeah.
I think. Are we waiting for it?
Yeah, we're just waiting for him to type his question in there. But yeah, what you got coming up on your channel? What plans have you got for the channel?
Me? Well,
Yeah,
right now I'm responding to a message from somebody. Um, I'm responding to a message from somebody from an upcoming cover that's going to be happening, and we're just
cool.
assembling the online band for that one. I think it's mostly assembled at this point, although I'm two parts of it. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Upcoming fans for the channel. I will say this right now. Something about showers. I don't know if that's
Oh, yeah. That he wants to buy a spanner for £100. That's £100.
Oh, okay. So this week, I don't know what day yet. I got to export the video after this. I am releasing a new song. It's called Dream Away. I shot a
Nice.
playthrough out in the backyard with my buddy Zach. He did the camera work for me, so I just hand him the camera. And he helped me out doing that one. I don't know what kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's going to be one of those songs that's probably too light for the metal guys, too heavy for the people who just don't like any kind of thing that's any good. It uses a weird delay effect that sounds like a synthesizer, which is kind of throughout the whole thing. I record it with like a separate reverb track, kind of like I did in your you had the Lord of the Riffs video.
Yeah.
We did that. I did for part one. I did that, but this song is not on the 7-string, so it's a little lighter, just regular E standard 6-string tuning. I got that, so that's coming up. So I recorded that over the winter. Shot the video. The video is edited. It's gonna be pretty fun playthrough with a lot of little I don't know what Easter eggs would call it, but a lot of text in it.
Yeah.
For shits and giggles. I think people are going to enjoy it. I just wanted to do a little bit of extra detail, just something that makes it a little more fun than just some douchebag in their, I don't know, multi-scale 11-string gent stick where they only use like the big freaking brake cable, but the brake cable's only like the 9th string.
See you,
good night, Peter. All right, and yeah, so I think it's pretty cool, and I think for people that heard it, oh yeah, it's progressive metal. So Chris, War Dance here, War Dance of Andy. I don't know if Andy's here or not. They've been I said one night, it said something like, I put it in a story. It said y'all ever play to an audience of frogs? And so she calls it progressive metal, which I think is great. And it's very riveting. Anyway, there is a lot of frogs out there, by the way. You can see tadpoles and the frog stuff. It's pretty cool, but it's like gross water, actually. Anyway, yeah, somebody turned me into Shrek. I need to ask him for that photo so I can have it and post it. You want to know something funny? I've never watched Shrek. I don't think I've made it through a whole movie. Is that weird that I haven't watched a Shrek movie?
I've watched the first one, but that were when my kids were a lot younger.
Yeah, I'm just really bad with movies and stuff sometimes watching it, but then I've watched like 3 of the 5 Neil Breen movies, and those are terrible.
Hey, Tinky. He's a fellow Canadian.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
He's from Toronto.
Okay, yeah. A little ways from here, 2-hour flight. Been there a few times. Yeah, as for other plans for the channel, is probably just keep going. I got a guitar review. Kevin Pomola is letting me use his new Jackson that he's never got to play yet before I ship that up to him. So I think I'm going to start getting that video together this week.
Yeah.
Half thinking of maybe recording like about a 1-minute thrash piece with it, because it's a Jackson. It's like a 1994 Jackson Stealth. So I did a string change. We're doing something with that too before that goes to him. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. And I know another guy who's going to be probably lending me a guitar here soon as well. He's already lent me one. It was a Sterling. He apparently got a PRS now. So apparently I get to try the PRS too, which is really cool. Yeah,
I want to that PRS I've got is a really, really nice guitar.
Yeah. It's an SE, right?
Yeah, SE.
I think this one is too. I haven't really played PRS to that'd be a new one for me. I picked one up so long ago, but it probably just wasn't set up. I probably just wasn't that good at playing. It was a long, long time ago. So PRS is going to be a new world for me to try that out if I get the chance to. I'm pretty sure it's a Mark Holcomb.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I said it right. The Periphery guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He picked it up, and I think it'll be a cool guitar. Those are more like a PRS with Ibanez specs. They have the 25.5-inch scale. But PRS is kind of like an alternative to like Gibson almost.
Yeah. Well, the feel of the neck, it's Gibson-esque, but it's not quite as thick as a Gibson neck. If you can grasp what I'm meaning.
Well, I only play Gibson. Gibson USA, man, they make the best stuff. They had a flying P on their page the other day. Showed up Brad Paisley, like the country guy. He's like, I don't know if his arm was through it. And you ever look at that page, Gibson USA?
No, I've not seen that.
It's amazing. You guys are missing out if you've not gone to Instagram and looked up Gibson USA. I do send a few of you guys the posts and stuff.
Well, I did see something funny a few weeks back, and all I'll say is wish.com.
Oh man, that's a great website if you want to buy some weird shit.
Yeah, well, it was a guitar wall clock in the shape of a Les Paul, and it had Fender written on it.
I don't know. Did you buy it?
No.
Oh man, you missed out on a great deal. It was probably like $1, and you'll wait 6 months to get it, and then it'll say like, I don't know, Schecter on the headstock or something by the time you get it, or it'd be like a Fender and it'll say Gibson or something. And then it's great. I have a sticker somewhere and it shows it's not down here where I'd show it and scream, and it's got a picture of Kiss, but it says Led Zeppelin.
Oops. Yeah, I think I've seen that going around on Facebook recently.
Oh yeah. Facebook has like it's hard to ditch Facebook because some of the memes are so good on there. But some of them are. But yeah, Gibson is genius. Steve, I'm just reading the comments. I'm so happy there's comments. I can actually read them. I was wondering about that. I was gonna get like another window up on the side, and
no, that's the good thing about things like StreamYard and what's the other one, Restream and Melon. You can see the comments.
Yeah, no, it's super, super cool. Yeah, I suck at answering questions on the channel, though. I think there's one thing I would like to do a little bit more is to play more. Everybody, like a lot of us, we kind of got our views from gear reviews.
Yeah.
But when I started my channel, it was all playing. And that was ages ago, like over a decade ago. It was all playing, and without the technology that I'm working with now or the skills. And I just wish that I was doing what I was doing right now in 2009. It's like if I could have done it. I mean, it's just how things work out. I can't help that. But hey, what's going on, Robin? Yeah, I just kind of wish I could have done that because I think things would have been probably different for all of us being in there a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But I want to play more because as much I do like talking about guitars and all that stuff, and it is fun. But I almost hate thinking what's the next piece of gear I want to review. I don't want to be that guy. It's like, hey, Lemmy, what's up?
Hey.
And the other thing is like, I don't want to be the next guy saying what's the next cover I'm gonna play to. Although even though there's a cover I want to do, there's things if I go on Instagram Live, I pretty much just play covers. Yeah. One of these days, I want to get going. I want to play some of my songs like Wavemaker, Distant from last year. I thought I still really liked that one. I'm thinking of redoing one of my old songs. It's more of like a thrashy song from about 10 years ago. Jake Barker riffs. And yeah, so
yeah. Well, that's it. That's why I like to try and keep changing things up. Do a gear review, do amp sim review, put new music out, etc., etc. You just like to, and do live streams like this. Just change things up every now and again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I started doing the podcast, which you were the first guy who actually did that. I still think it was the best performing one, was the one with you. The one I did last week, I don't know, it was hard to beat viewers onto that one, but
Yeah.
they were all, every one that I did was actually really fun. I've enjoyed every time I sat down with somebody and recorded it. So even if they don't get a lot of views, I'm going to do that. What are the guitars behind me? Okay. Do we want a quick guitar show?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, let's have
All
a
right.
look. What you got behind you?
I don't know. I gotta like take the headphones off, so I'm not gonna hear you. I kept the monitors off, so all right, what's that? Let me put my headphones on so I can hear you guys first. All right, so did anybody talk shit about me while I was gone for a second?
We all did.
I hope so. Anyway, I got this. This needs a setup so bad. So if you can't hear me, I'll try to get the mic around, but you know, I don't want to be like bang, bang, hitting it. I got this LTD. I've had this for probably 10 years. It hasn't gotten played a whole lot in the last year. It needs a setup really, really badly. It's got a setup. It's one of the cheapest Stephen Carpenters. It's a 6-string Stephen Carpenter. I think they brought those back. A friend of mine had a green and this black one, and he said he was going to sell me a Schecht SP. He had a Mutt. It was a parts guitar with this neck and a Schecter Omen body, I believe, which I think a friend of mine actually has that body. Maybe he actually has the Omen now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm burping. Actually, I should just not even excuse myself. Screw that.
Yeah, just do it. We're not proud on this channel.
No, you got me on here, so you know, lowest quality guest ever.
Hey,
and
it's the Great Unwashed on this channel.
We'll say what?
We're the Great Unwashed.
Okay,
It's an in joke. I'll tell you later.
It's yeah. Sometimes it's just like sometimes I'm trying to pick up on the lingo because you have the Yorkshire thing going. Yorkshire. How do I say it?
Yorkshire.
I say everything wrong. I'm not British. I'm Canadian. You forgive
it's your
me.
excuse, and you're sticking to it.
It's just my default excuse. So yeah, this guitar was kind of cool in the sense that I see how Stephen Carpenter he wanted a humbucker in the middle position of his guitars. I don't want that.
Nah.
So I just put a Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge, but if you notice, it's like lime popsicle green.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I don't want it to be all black because that's boring.
No,
like it's boring. Like everybody has an all black guitar, so they go and they play their blackened black metal, and I don't know how you blacken it anymore, but you know, and their corpse paint, which is the only thing on them that's not black, and anyway, so I like to throw it off. So I put this DiMarzio clip lock on it in purple just to kind of go with the green. Yeah. And I look at this. You guys remember the Grimace from the McDonald's things when like McDonald's had cool characters to promote you to gain weight as a kid? Like it's like, Mom, Dad, we gotta get to McDonald's. Oh, it's like, so we act up, and then if we get those toys, we shut up. So I call this Grimace purple. I think it gives it a really nice, just throws it off a bit. But I need to fix it up. Because it's like a little like, if you hear it, it's got this awful buzz right at the nut on that string. Yeah, I don't know if I need to replace the nut on it or what. The tuners though are the Grovers.
Be careful when you're replacing your nuts.
Yeah. You don't want to bust a nut either when you're.
Don't worry about it, Corey.
Hey, Corey, what's up, buddy? It's like, hey, thanks, man. I'm missing all the comments here. You guys this is funny. Nah, man, it's like it's cool. I'm glad you guys are showing up. This is wicked. But yeah, what's cool about this too is that the inlays are not stock. Peter, who owned it before, great guitar player. I hope he's still playing as much as he is, and probably one of the guys who probably kicked my ass into gear the most over time. He would actually tell me, listen, you suck at this, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be butthurt and blah, blah, blah. But man, like in the long run, listening made a huge difference. But he put these Albalone inlays in here on the bottom. I always thought it looked cool. I love the neck. The ESP neck shapes are just killer. I'd love to have an actual ESP.
Oh, yeah.
I just played an LTD Horizon recently too. Had EMGs in it. It was like, do not replace the Terps here. It's his guitar, and don't replace the EMGs. They sound awesome in that guitar. I think I like EMGs more as I got older. I don't know if that's a thing people do. Do you like? Is most people go for EMGs? Like, no, I need passives. I was like passives. Well, EMGs work.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Well, I've got EMGs in 2 of my guitars, although they are the passive EMGs, but they still sound awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends. I think the problem was when I played a guitar once that was absolutely, it must have been a piece of dead wood. And then that translated over to really stale, probably 81s or something.
Yeah.
I don't think all EMGs are the same, maybe through eras or something. I don't really know. So I could be talking out of my ass when I'm saying that. And saying that, pretty cool. Want me to grab another one? Do we want to do this forever? Somebody asked, like, we want to know. There's like several guitars over here. So.
Yeah. You carry on.
You know what? I'll grab. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'll grab another one and talk about it for a second. Yeah, I'm getting like all like twisted up in the wires. It's like a dog on a leash in trees. Dogs' leashes in trees don't work because they always go around the tree.
DW. He gets fed and watered. That's as much as I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know you guys are hating on me. Just
Shh, he's back now. Stop talking about it.
all right, I'm gonna do this one because I'm not gonna go. This is gonna turn into the me show, and I could be like, I could have just done this as a video, and then Lee gets it on his channel. I basically give him. It's like check out Brian Bowers guitars on Lee's channel. Oh, by the way, he has like less subscribers than me, so I don't really win here. But hey, but it's cool. You know what? I have to say one thing about this live streaming thing. It's kick ass to actually get to interact with somebody like this.
Exactly.
It's so much better than just talking to a camera and be like, hi guys, today we're gonna try the Squirrel DSP plugin. That's like, it's nuts.
No. It's not squirrel, it's squirrel. That's it.
So I got this Ibanez S series. Sorry, my it's hard to fit it all in. You know, super cool. This is my first good guitar. And yeah, I was getting into Dragon Force like big time when I was bought this. I think right when I finished high school. Did you like Dragon Force?
Odd bits. I'm not a massive fan, but odd little bits here and there. But yeah, I had a Squier guitar that looked very similar to that back in '90s. Yeah, but I think they came out of the same factory as Ibanez. I think it makes
sense.
Yeah. I mean, they had a really crummy name. They were called the Squier HM model.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like that sort of contoured, sleek Ibanez body.
Yeah.
But it was, it didn't cost me a lot of money at all. But it's still one of the best guitars I've ever owned. I wish I still had it.
Yeah. I got this one fixed up a little bit again and stuff too, and it plays awesome. Yeah, so I was quite into Dragon Force, and Herman Lee had one of these, and I played one of these once, and when I went to look for a guitar, I was looking at these Strats and stuff. I remember this was on the wall. I was like, I was just sold on this one, and I was like, this is super cool, and it felt so awesome to have like a cool guitar and not like just your student, like your beginner guitar. And yeah, this did sit around for about, I want to say 8 years, hardly being used at one point. But yeah, it's been back. I was in the X Japan cover we did. I did actually one of my more popular videos is about this guitar. Cool. A lot of people look it up. What's cool about it though is that you grab the center of this sucker. Sorry, I hit my mic. You grab that. There's a lot of girth when you grab that piece of wood.
That's what she said to the vicar.
Anyway, where am I from? You guys should guess where I'm from, and it's not Madagascar. I'm gonna set this guitar. I'm gonna set this guitar on the couch. So one second. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna give everybody 5 minutes to keep talking in chat, and then I'm going to roll this, and whoever's talking in chat, active users, will win one of these pin badges.
Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win?
We need
Who's
to have
gonna
like
keep
a,
talking?
we need to have a we need to have a thing like how would say it, like we need to have like an ad. It's like, you guys want some cool prizes? It's like, well, come on down to the Lee Armitage live stream with Brown Bauer. Yeah. We gotta have like, I like all these people like cheering and like looks like they're having fun, but it's all stock footage and stuff. It's like, what do you think of the live streams? It was all right, I guess. Yeah, and I don't know how to do it. Like, see people like looks like these kids and be like, you ever see the video of the kid on the internet where he gets the Nintendo 64 for Christmas or something? He's like, Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah.
We could have that, but it's like a Lee Armitage pin. He's like, it is like be like weirdly odd. It's like Lee Armitage pins. You just imagine something like that, you know. Pretty cool. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it's like maybe more it'd be cooler if it's like the evil wizard kind of thing.
Hey Jonathan, how we doing, man?
Anyway, as for the person who asked where I'm from, well, I'm from Canada, so that's maybe why I could sound funny or normal to you, depending on where you're from in the world.
He's from Liverpool, so everybody sounds funny to him.
Yeah, I went to England, but never been to Liverpool or anything like that. I wasn't in Liverpool. I almost need a Google map where Liverpool is. Maps.goo. You know, I do maps like all day. And
yeah,
there's a Liverpool in Nova Scotia too, though, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Like, we have a lot of the same names. Like, I noticed there's like a Dartmouth over in, like, if you look, I was looking at the other night. And yeah, there's like, I see, like, where was it? There's like I don't know if we have a Plymouth. We do have a Falmouth here. We have a Falmouth here. That's down towards the valley. Liverpool. Let's see if it pops up here quickly on the screen. I found it. Yeah, I definitely wasn't there. And you know what? I need to look up. I should be like, Lee, what's your address? I'm gonna look up your house, and then you tell us, and it's like, haha, let's go raid Lee's house. No, let's not do that. But yeah, every so often, I don't know if you guys do it, but I like to just mess around in Google Street View and just tour people's towns. It's pretty fun to do that sometimes. I like to do that in places I've been that I can't just go to and see what's changed. I do mess around with that stuff, but hey, I'm a dork, so whatever.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, you'll go down this suburban street and you'll see this man running out of the house. You think, yeah, he's been to see his mistress.
Oh. There's one from here where a guy's like falling on the street, go towards the sidewalk. There's some pretty funny ones. And years ago, one of the classic ones, the people who waited for the car to come by and they wore scuba gear and then walked up the road behind the car. Remember that? That was a pretty good one too. I gotta read the chat here. I was like, a lot of people like TG. That's pretty cool.
Oh, TG's a cool guy.
And old man's on the phone. And do they have hubcaps in Liverpool, Nova Scotia? Well, I mean, when you say hubcaps, you mean like the hubcaps on a car, right?
Yeah, on the wheels, yeah.
Yeah, well, who knows? Because you guys are English, that could be like muffins or something here, over there. I don't know. You guys were talking yeah, of course we have that. I might have ended up in a Google Map photo. He'd stick out like a sore thumb. No, I remember one night on the Spice and Easy stream, I was watching you guys, and you guys were fighting over what the rule. I think what the word for rolls were. It was like buns, rolls, and there was one Barm cakes. Me and Lisa, we talked about that. I'm like, who would think? I don't know if it was Barm or Barn, but
Barm, BARM, Barm cakes.
Who would even come up with that name? Like, yeah, they're good Barm cakes.
Oh man,
County Barm.
That's an argument that could last for days, weeks even.
I think I'd have to be a spectator. I have like no basis in it. It's just
So you've got buns, rolls, cobs, Barm cakes, bread cakes, tea cakes, blah de blah de blah.
Yeah, I don't know why the thing about food, and we talk about food. There's an amazing Instagram page I love. And it's called Boys Who Can Cook. And it's all pictures of terrible things. I just thought of something kind of funny. Is that you could have a cereal that's like a corn-based cereal, like corn flakes or something, but it could be just the cobs, like corn cobs instead of corn flakes. And then you could have like, instead of frosted flakes, you could have frosted cobs. And this is the garbage you're watching, people. My good ideas. It's almost like Chips in USA, but a sense of food. Oh man, I'm tired. I'm a bit hyper. But that's it's a pretty funny page. I love memes, by the way. Like,
absolutely, yeah, they're absolutely funny. Right, I'm going to roll this this first badge. We've got quite a number of eligible users in there.
Do we for the prize?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like we need a drum roll, but like it's gonna be like, and Lee Armitage wins his own pin. Yeah. Digestive.
Right, so that should be coming up in chat in a minute.
Robin, you mean the ones that are like the chocolate on the top, just like on the one side of the cookie? I think at least that's what it's like here in Canada. Yeah.
Robin, do you want it? Do you want it? You've got to ask people if they want the prize.
Do you want the prize? I don't know who gets the prize. I don't know how you guys. How did you decide this again?
It's on Nightbot.
Oh, it just randomly does it.
It's a random draw. Right, I'm gonna.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Robin Flank wins the cool pin.
Robin, you've got me on Facebook. Just send me your address on Facebook, and I'll get that sent out to you.
Yeah, and then it's like posted publicly.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like hang out with Robin. Then it's just like us that shows up. But Daryl, it's awesome to see that Daryl's here too. I mean, it's awesome to see everybody's here too. But
yeah, all the crazy gang.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like the turnout here. This is pretty sweet, and no, it's pretty cool. Anyway, the UK bread debate. Yeah, I just got a message about the UK bread debate. I don't know. It's like a weird thing to argue about. But you know what? There's way worse arguments in the world. We could fight about bread. I wonder if the arguments fought with hard pieces of bread, though.
Yeah, hard stale bread.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the UK bread argument, you don't want to get involved with it.
No. But so I had this this concept of it's a comedy thing that I do send to some people, but it's not something I talk about. Is that my brain is all over the place. What do we all have for tea then? I don't know if I can answer that question. I don't. That
you might know it as dinner.
Or
evening meal.
Well, this is a perfect segue to talk about a really screwed up restaurant idea. It's kind of reflected on the culture of around where I live, but this shows how weird I am. I have a concept restaurant. It's a joke. It's kind of taken from some from reality and then taken to these extremes that make no sense, and it's a kind of weird humor that I have, but it's called Old People Burger, or for short OPB. And the whole idea is that, well, I always found that, at least, like, I won't say necessarily every older person, but at least in like the smaller community, they hate anything spicy. They hate everything, this, that, everything else. And it's like a place almost based on tradition, based on being cheap. And trust me, being cheap is the big thing. And this probably happens everywhere. And then you take this burger, which we were talking about stale bread, but the bun has to be stale, dry, or soggy.
Ooh.
And then you have to ramp the onions up. Because my dad does this, and I don't know if it's a generational thing. And I don't get me wrong, I actually do like onion. I cook with onion. You need to cook with onion. You got to have it. But here's the thing: is that they want to load it up. Like, they'll be more excited about the onion than bacon.
Really?
How does this work? Yeah. Like,
really?
I mean, I would be more excited about even like vegetarian based bacon than an onion.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying now, not all onions are the same. Like I want to bring that point up too, is that there's like red onions that are amazing in a salad. And it's like you get regular like Spanish onions that are actually like raw are pretty good on a burger. But the idea is these are like really done up. So I could read one to you.
Cheers, Robin.
This is just wrecking your stream. I should read a classic OPB. So this idea of a little bit of like of older folks.
Yeah, I'll go for it, man.
And they're always going on about the whole thing, like, well, back in our day, the kids were fucking way more resilient back in my day. No, you know that idea. It's like they always go on like, and it's always like this competition. So let's see. I gotta find the one. Where's the classic? Where's the classic one that I had? I have like a whole note. I have every one of the ideas written. I write them all down here, so I have them all. I need to update Josh. A few of them aren't written by me, but a friend of mine did. He just gets it because he's from up there. My family came from up. Well, my mom's side of the family's from up there, in a place called Dutch Settlement. And hold up. There's this. Yeah, here it is. So it's like, and I'd like to do it. I just did something for a gift for a really good friend of mine for her birthday, of like a meme kind of idea that I had too, something unrelated to this. And but I almost should get it, like find some like B-roll footage, like old like black and white B-roll, and you have like this deep compressed voice, and it'd be like, at Old People Burger, we remember the simpler times, the times when we could do what we wanted to get by, when you could do nothing and still get a great job, support your family, and disown the kids who were different. When you could spend little and still not get much. When you had your kids convinced that Kraft pizza kits was the standard for a good pizza. When plain and stale chips were still good, even though the bag was old and unsealed. We make burgers that are just that. Old People Burgers. Spend a little and get exactly what you paid for. You know, the people who won't spend the money, like, it's too expensive to go there. But then they go get something like that's mediocre is like a compliment for it.
Yeah.
And and I saw a really great meme. It was the local restaurant starter pack, which might make more sense in North America. It's like brown tiles, the Pepsi menu signs. You ever see the Pepsi menu signs at a restaurant? It says like Pepsi, and then it's just like the stick-on letters.
Yeah.
You ever see those? It's like all that. It's like the little green baskets. Like it's like an okay restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not an amazing restaurant. And this place now, it was kind of like that, but I had these dumb ideas. Boiled dinner burger, that was one. Today we honor the meal you loved as a kid, liver and onions. We know it's not everyone's favorite, but to honor that, we made the liver and onion burger with the texture you love. And it's like it's just total bullshit, but I have so many of them on here. It's insane. I had the you guys, I don't know if you guys ever ate a gas bro in your life, the boniest fish. I came up with one.
No, I've never done them.
They're coming up the rivers now to spawn, and of course down there, but you can get them for like, I don't know, like a dozen for like $5. But they're so bony, like you literally like you could have so many bones in your throat. It'd be insane.
Ooh, nah.
But the fish, it would be a very valuable fish if it didn't have all that bone in it. Because it tastes good, but I always call it the Dutch Settlement delicacy, because first thing the old people are like, "Oh, I heard Ori is getting some down at the wharf. Better get down there." You know the little towns, they do it everywhere. So it's not just a here thing. And
but in these little towns, have they got telephones, or they still using smoke signals?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking maybe they had a telegraph in some of them.
Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, I heard they were selling strawberries down there at the Sobeys. Well, they didn't look very good according to the kind of people. Oh man, I've heard that stuff so much. So like I can almost just write this stuff based, like you can almost, some of these things that I come up with, I can almost write up out of nowhere. It doesn't help my channel at all. I just have fun when I have the idea. The thing is, especially if you, even with your YouTube channel and stuff, is don't force inspiration.
No,
just let it come to you.
Yeah, have fun with it.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Hank Hill's here. What's up? That boy ain't right.
Hey, Hank.
But yeah, it's just dumb crap I come up with. This has nothing to do with anything. You guys are probably here to listen to about guitars and metal and all that stuff.
They're not. They're here just to listen to us to just waffle on and
that's what I'm good at. I'm always better at doing that than talking about guitars. I can talk bullshit all day about
absolutely.
I love it. I mean, I love talking about guitars. I mean, every so often, like you want to get into it, and like you see people and like you just want to. Every so often, like you get that moment where that's all you think about is guitar for a while, and you're just like, I got this thing, and you start telling people, they're just like, it sounds like you're talking in math to them, like pickups, and all this stuff.
Well, that's it. It's the same when I'm talking about guitars to Lisa. I can just see the haze coming across her eyes, like yeah.
I know. I'm sure I've driven a few people insane over time. Like, yeah, well, this one has a bigger neck than that one with a piece of wood with strings on it. Shouldn't it play right? Here's one. Did you ever go to a Kevin almost passed? So Kevin, it's because you've been up like all day, dude. And almost passed out. I don't know if you're sleeping or I guess you're falling asleep. But yeah, as for what I was saying.
You.
Me. I suck at remember I was
Bobby,
saying.
please.
I remember I was at when we were still at the office just over a year ago. There was a young guy there. Luckily, I've got to see him since the pandemic when I went in, and he just stopped me one day. He's like, "So yeah, I hear you play guitar and you're good at it." I'm like, "Who told you that?" I'm like, "I don't even know this guy." "Oh, some other dude said you play." I'm like, "Who's that?" I didn't even know who he was. So that was cool. Somebody thought it was awesome.
Cool.
So like we go into the kitchen. I'm like, well, follow me. We got to make a coffee before I head back over to the cubicle and stuff. And she's talking. So he's like, yeah. He's like, so you must have a lot of pedals and stuff. And there's these two like older women sitting there. And I said, well, no. And I started saying like the words MIDI and all these things, like, because I use a MIDI controller for the most part.
Yeah.
I use a few pedals. I use an overdrive sometimes. And I use a wah. Hey, Lisa, I see you.
Hi.
And anyway, yeah. And I said, like, so I kind of threw out some. I just explaining things, and they're looking like I'm talking in this alien language. They're just like, I saw them. They looked at each other like, "What the frig are these two talking about?" I'm like, "Well, no, you're on a MIDI controller. All the effects are in that." And he didn't really know what Kemper was and stuff. I think he was more of an acoustic guy, but to talk to. Like, I wouldn't say he's probably a metalhead by any stretch, but great dude to talk to. And always like when I run into him and stuff. But it's just it definitely goes over people's heads. So I have to sometimes try to talk normal to people, but apparently I'm bad at that. So I just decide to be myself, and it's the best way to be.
Yeah, there's a guy I work with, and well, all I can say is he's good at bullshit. He's one of these people, no matter whatever, he plays a little bit of guitar as well, but he's one of these people. If you've got XYZ guitar, I've got the next model up.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's one of them people.
Yeah, he's like, well, I've got the highest end Steve Vai Jim. Well, I got a Steve Vai Jim that like he literally like licked it.
Yeah,
like it would come up. Some people like, there's always people like that. I got the next one up. Or whatnot. Like, who cares? It doesn't mean you can play it better.
Exactly. He's
it's
like,
not,
I don't care.
Really
I'm happy with what I've got.
Dude, that ESP, the LTD I showed you guys, I think I might have paid a grand total of $150 in that guitar because the guy gave me a pretty good deal on it.
Yeah.
He gave me a friend's deal on it. But $150, and trust me, like the thing, it only sounds and plays you got to set it up to play right and stuff. But sometimes it doesn't really matter. Now I got a good pickup, but it's a good guitar, man.
That's it. I mean, the first 7-string I bought, I just bought a cheap 7-string. It's only one of the Ibanez Geo models. It was a second-hand store. For the cheap Ibanez, it plays really well.
Yeah,
for the cheap guitars, and I tell you, it's still got the stock pickups in, and the stock pickups in the cheap Ibanez are hotter than the pickups in the Solar 7-string.
Huh? You know what? Sometimes I subscribe. Hey, thanks for subscribing to the channel, and awesome, man.
He's a cool dude, Jonathan. He's got a Kemper as well.
Oh, does he? Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, I got lots of Kemper content on there. Seth, I should really do something like that again, but you know, I kind of put up my effort into this song and stuff right now, which is the next thing coming out. So there'll be a premiere sometime this week. So if anybody can show up, that would be really cool. That's the kind of crap I want people to share, because the playing and all that stuff. It's kind of why I'm here. It's not to talk about gear all the time, as much as it is also to talk about gear. I do like playing guitar and writing songs and stuff. And my singer friend from here, she's already claimed one of my other ideas, so that we can do that. Well, I sent it to him like, you know what? This is a Valerie song. And I sent it, and she's like, finish it and do it. And anyway, so I got to get around to that. But
don't hurt me, mistress.
yeah, no, I got to do another demo. I have a few ideas kicking around and stuff too. It's just time. I was tired like all last week too. Like every day I was tired. Then Thursday, I'm like, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna do this video.
Yeah.
Then it was the McRockland and Hutch hangout. And it's like, oh, and that was super fun. And it's like, wow, I got a little bit done that night, a little color grading, a few things, got it synced up. Then Friday night, I just went ham and I got like most of the playthrough done. So I spent an hour and something. I don't know how sometimes I can cruise through stuff so much.
Alan, I've just got one thing to say to you.
I don't even know this Duvel beer. I don't really drink beer anymore.
Yeah, it's quite. Oh, what's the percentage on this one?
I'm gonna take one quick break because coffee makes, there is side effects to coffee, by the way. So if you can entertain them for a minute, then
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to leave you here with Lee for about like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. You know, it's the coffee, man. It's got to do it, but I'm awake. Caffeine talking, you know. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll take the mug up too.
So, how's everybody doing tonight? You're all enjoying the stream. We're just sitting here having a good old yarn. I thought you liked that, Al. Put it this way, it tastes better than Elvis juice. But yeah, Jonathan, if you're still watching, check Brian's channel out. He's got quite a number of videos where he's got content out on his Kemper. Awesome, TG. Yeah, Kevin, you're all going to end up in the dungeon with Corey. You can never go too fast, Eric. How can you talk about me putting beer in random bottles when you in random glasses when you do it all the time, Simone? Easy, Tiger. You like that, don't you, Eric? Yeah, I'll let him know, Jonathan. Look at Bums in that. It's a bit hazy.
Hello, I am back.
He's back. Yeah, Jonathan says he's going to check your Kemper videos out, and he's got a few profiles that he'll share with you. So I'll put you guys in touch with each other.
Yeah, wicked, man. You can always follow me out on the Instagram at BauerYT. Yeah, I do have about 200 videos on the channel. Some of them are crap. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of crap. If you go to the old ones, the focus is all over the place. Oh man, yeah. I cleaned the channel up about some like a while back. I see you see it at me. My phone's on the charger here. Yeah. So I'll follow you back after the stream. All right. Yeah. Man, when I first did things, when I first started the channel, I don't know about you. Why don't you tell us how did you go about starting the channel when you did it? Like, what did you just say? I want to start a channel, or you just say screw it, I'm making a video and just threw it up and then just went from there?
Bit of both. I've been thinking about it for a few months, and yeah, I mean, I obviously didn't have as much gear as what I do now, but yeah, I had a few pedals, a few guitars, a couple of different amps, and I was thinking to myself, well, just because these so-called bigger YouTubers have got their opinions on gear, well, my opinion is just as valid as theirs.
Exactly.
So I thought, go for it. Even though the first video I put up was a cover version, but yeah, I was just messing about with the cover version one day, and I thought, sod it, I'm going to do a video on this. just to get that first video out of the way.
I was a teenager when I put my first one up. It wasn't planned.
God, once I started sort of talking in front of camera, it took me at least 6 months to get really comfortable in front of camera. At least 6 months.
It's like doing this is so, like I said, doing this is easy. We have an interaction, and we get these people doing comments. So we get all that kind of stuff, and then me and you can bounce off one another.
Exactly.
I knew coming into this stream that it was going to be easy because me and you've talked before like this. So on my channel,
yeah, when we did that first podcast, I really enjoyed that, and if you ever want to do an updated version of that in a couple of years' time or whenever, just hit me up, just let me know, man.
Yeah, some other point, we should do something like that again after a while. I gotta ask the next ideas. I got 2 ideas of people I want to do. Thanks for the sub, man. Yeah, my first one, Black Metal Hipsters. What's the title like that? Yeah, I know. I was hoping that video would do good, and it kind of got stuck there. I don't think I had too many subscribers at the time I put that one out. But yeah, that was an old idea.
Yeah, at least you hit the 1K now, though.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you guys so much for helping me out with that. Yeah, we're over. I think I don't know. I was at 1,031 when I looked earlier. So it's growing. Although some videos you think, oh, it'll do good, and then it's just. And then the next one is like, why the frick is people watching this one? STD podcast, Square Table Degenerates. I like that. I like how it just throws you off like, oh, wait, that's what it stands for, Square Table Degenerates. I like that. That's cool. Is it British? Are they British? Square Table? Or are they from Canada, America?
I'm not sure. I'm not. He's come across from the Spice and Easy mob. He's one of the Spice and Easy gang.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. That's cool. I just assume you know everybody that I don't hear.
I know nothing. Oh, he's from Ohio.
Oh, okay, right on, dude. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying something about something. Yeah, the black metal song. It's called Black is Winter is the song. It was never supposed to be a joke song. I don't know. I took it as I went with a joke song because I'll kind of try to explain that one. It's not a happy story per se.
Yeah.
So one day, man, it was a while ago. I didn't have this place, and I was at my parents' place, and there was a house like behind their house. Fun fact: my friend's dad used to own that house too. Not at that time. So somebody else owned it and rented it out to people. And there was a party that went a little too hard, I think, and a guy actually died, I think, of an overdose or something. And that day, and it's like, man, it was pretty weird. Like, the coroner showing up and all that stuff. And I don't know, for some reason I thought, oh, well, good day to write a black metal riff. And then I wrote the opening riff that and then I didn't know where to go with the song. I'm not going to dwell on the death part of it. That was don't mix things, people, because it wasn't just drinking going on there, and it's sad. I don't know who he was, but they woke up and found him. Anyway, I wrote the intro riff, and then it was kind of sitting there, and then I didn't know where to go with the song. I didn't know how to write it. You ever try writing a song, and then you can't figure it out, and then one day, about like, I don't know, 8 months later, you come back, try it, and it just comes together? You ever have that happen?
Oh, yeah, quite often. I mean, there were a couple of the songs on the last EP. Well, in fact, the song I've just put out the other day, I've got that sort of main riff to it, and I use that as in the mix part of a Ampsim video. I thought that's a really cool riff. It's got that sort of Paradise Lost feel to it.
Oh, that's a good band.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Paradise Lost since the early days. And I would, you know what's gone off between me and Lisa over the last 12 months. I'm not going to sort of discuss it on here, but
yeah.
And that sort of all beginning riff and that main riff, it just sort of went with the feel, because I wanted to write a song for that anyway, and that just sort of went with it. But at the time when I first come up with it, I just couldn't find anything that would fit with it. And then I come back to it about the end of January, and then rest of the song just got written like that.
Yeah.
But I had a song on the first EP last year. It's actually the track on the EP, the Yorkshire Stomp. I got that initial riff. That initial riff actually came from was on a pedal demo. I got this sort of obituary sound setting on this pedal, and I just came up with this riff. I thought, yeah, I like that. I've got it on video. I can remember how to play it. So a few weeks later, I thought, right, I'll start writing something for that. Within an hour, I got the song fully complete. It just wrote itself.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I had a few that I've done over time where it's like evening structure done.
Yeah,
Distant was one of those ones. The one that's coming out this week took me a little bit longer. It's like every time I sit down, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna write something, and it's only going to be for like a demo for a video, like so I could do something.
Yeah,
and then it's like, this is too good for that. And then I have some new idea. So I'm like, okay, record that bit of the idea, do something else, do this part, and come back and make that a song. This Dream Away is going to be like one of those ones. It didn't come together that quick, but Distant, I think I did I started one night. I was supposed to be on a Discord hangout with some of my local friends around here. And then it's like that night, next morning happened. And then I'm not going to get into it in the channel, but some really horrible like event happened around here. And I didn't even know it was happening because of, I was just in here in my own world, door locked, good thing. And all this crap's happening around me. I don't even know. I'm here just doing my thing.
Yeah, so you're just jamming away.
Wavemaker again, same thing. I'm like, well, I got to do something for this. Would have been a terrible video. And years ago, same thing. I was like, I got to write something that's bad and something good. And the first thing I sit down and put down like a quick drum beat. I just hit that first chord. I'm like, something here.
Yeah.
Evening. I think the solos came later and stuff. But songwriting's a weird one because like sometimes you can sit down, try to write something, and nothing good comes out of it. Well, according to us or ourselves. Somebody else might be like, hey, that's a really cool idea, but maybe I'm not inspired by it.
Yeah, well, it's like today. I've just got the new expansion pack for the Ugritone Cult Drums 2.
Yeah.
And the new IR pack. It's all sort of based around sort of early Doom, sort of Sabbathy type tones.
Yeah.
So I was having a bit of a play about with that. And riffs were just coming out like that. I was just getting inspired.
Yeah.
You've got some really cool tones. So I've sort of got a sort of 2-minute piece. I think, well, it's not going to turn out into a song. Some of the riffs may end up in a song, but yeah, I think it's a cool piece just for the just to demo the drums and the amps in. Sorry, the IRs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, ideas were just flowing like that. We're like, yeah.
I think it's when you don't plan for it. A lot of times is when that kind of thing happens as well. And
yeah, because sometimes you'll think, right, I'm going to start writing some riffs today, and it's like there's just nothing, or you're coming up with something, and it's just, yeah, this is crap.
Sometimes it's just generic power chords.
Yeah.
The next time you get a different beat and a different way to play the generic power chords, it's like, oh, I like this one. How do we handle uninspired times? You haven't uploaded a video for 5 weeks. Well, I mean, I think I always have something in the queue. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm not inspired to do something, and I've done this, I've made this mistake back before I met any of you guys. I put out, I think, about 2 or 3 just shit videos. They were no good. And I was like, I just took 3 weeks off and I kind of like just worked on the bigger ones. You know, the key thing is that you have to get out and do something else.
Yeah.
And the key, and another thing too is not one thing you're talking about YouTube videos. Okay. When you niche down so much, you can either have a lot to do or nothing. I've niched down, but I'm trying not to niche down too hard. And I've heard other I sometimes consume YouTube channels where they just talk about doing YouTube. It's like you need to have like a niche, but you need to do things that are fresh to you, like talking to people. I did a Q&A live stream back a week ago, just over a week ago.
Yeah.
And it was super fun and super refreshing. I think if you're doing something and you're just bored with it, I'm not saying you can't go back to doing that again, because you should. Like, you do pedal reviews and you do a good job of those pedal reviews, and it's kind of like your thing. But maybe, I don't know, try to, I don't know, release music or something. Try to writing music.
Or try and write a song and use that pedal in that song.
Yeah, exactly. Like today, I haven't played guitar today. The only thing I've done for YouTube stuff today is sitting here. This is it. I was gone. I think some of it's just getting out of the house, taking breaks, because YouTube's a lot of work, and it's a lot more work than people realize it is. You spend a ton of time in the video, and then nobody watches it.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know about yourself, but I see some of these YouTubers, this amp sim's just come out today, or it came out this week. I've got to get a video out this week for it. And I'm like, no, I like to test things out for at least a good week or two before I do a video on it. And that's why I'm usually late to the party on them. But I like to test things out fully.
And you know what? You got to understand like how that works for yourself too. Like, some people can literally plug in and go.
Yeah.
That's almost like a pun there. Plug in and go. But seriously, some people can do. All right,
we'll see you later.
Hey, have a good night, dude. Some people can pick that up and go and do that, and while you realize what you need to do to give an informed opinion. I generally speak.
I mean, I know some of my videos can be a bit long-winded, but I like to go in depth into it.
No, you got to do what works for you. Remember, YouTube is still about the long format.
Yeah,
and even if it's 27 minutes, while, let's be fair, a lot of people don't get through videos in this day and age. It's really hard to get people to stick around. The attention spans are tough.
Yeah, and that's why in a lot of the longer videos, I start putting timestamps in.
Yeah, and it helps the algorithm a little bit too.
Because there's guys like me, like you, Robin, etc., and a lot of the other guys in the chat. Yeah, we've been doing this for God knows how many years. But there's always new people coming in. They don't know what XYZ pedal, amp sim, IR, etc. There's even some people. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I had to explain to them what an IR was. They didn't know what an IR was, which is fair enough. There's no silly questions. If you don't know it, it's not a silly question.
Hey, recording music is its own world. Like, it's its own thing. the average person going down the street walking their dogs is probably not talking about IRs. They're going to be talking about, I made this for dinner. My kids are in soccer and they're doing so good when they're not. Like, and they're going about anything else that people don't know. It's not lingo that they're used to. And then even if you even like a lot of guitar players don't know.
No,
A lot of guitar players don't record.
no. And
We see like people like you guys who probably do record, but recording's its own. You
It's its
you
own
have to
art form.
practice recording. You have to actually
Yeah.
practice recording. Like, you know how you said earlier, it took you 6 months to get used to talking on a video? It's
Yeah.
because you have to practice talking
Exactly.
to a camera. That's like everything. There's so many little skills here. I'm just reading your comment here. Yeah, you got to do it for yourself.
Exactly, Robin.
Don't force stuff, because when you force things, you're gonna come across as uninspired.
Yeah,
Now every so often, like,
and people see straight
happens.
through it.
Like, I had a video that did, I don't know if it's doing okay or not. I haven't looked, but anyway, like, I was just right tired. Something was like happening. I was like a little bit off, and I was kind of like, and it comes across on camera. I noticed it, and a friend of mine also noticed it too. And while I think the video is fine, for the most part, but it's not like the upbeat attitude. It's tough. I think the main thing is keep things fresh.
Yeah,
Like, you can't, if like Keith Merrow just completely gave it up, and I'm wondering what, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that over the last couple of days. Apparently, he's given up all his social media.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So,
You know what?
if he's feeling it's not for him, then fair enough.
You know what? I'm gonna put this out there right now. I really, as much as social media has helped me, I got to limit what I do on social media. Like, I stayed off Facebook all day.
Yeah,
And, I try to stay off Facebook more than any other platforms, even though I do go on it. I started again. A lot of like what made me stop going on it was the current political climate for a bit. I almost deleted it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm the
like, I
same.
couldn't quite do
Since
it.
Christmas, I'm off Facebook a lot more than what I'm on it these days.
Yeah, there's one guy, not anybody here, I don't know him, that somebody that added me as a friend, just sharing the stunnedest crap that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And I was like, I'm not going to get into the topic and stuff because it's caused this divide. And it's like, seriously, do you like ever critically think about what you're writing? I don't care what side of politics, whatever you're
yeah.
on. Like, you need to critically think about this. I just got tired of that and fighting. The only thing that I like the memes on Facebook and that stuff, but social media sucks. I kind of don't blame them. And then YouTube, like, YouTube, if you're not a happy person, may not actually be for a person trying to get in. I'm not saying that to anybody in particular, but if you're not happy and you're trying to, it's like, well, I'll try to put something out on YouTube, and then nobody watches it. You get like 10 views.
Yeah.
And it's like in 3 of the comments of your mom telling you you're doing so good. That's never happened to me in my life. And Bauer is not Canadian. Then what am I? Oh, he's a nice. Oh man, you're a nice wizard now. No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm an evil wizard
in an alternate parallel universe. Anyway,
all right, people, keep chatting away, and we're going to do another giveaway in a few minutes.
But yeah, are you selling those?
No, the giveaways. There's a guy I got to know through the Spice and Easy channel. He's called Jersey. He sent me a pack of these for free.
Nice.
So that's why I'm doing them as giveaways.
That's super cool.
His Facebook page is called ZT's Customs. T's as in t-shirts. TWS.
When I'm ready for it, and everybody say, "Well, you're not ready," but I really need to do.
We need some Bauer merch.
I need to do some merch. I mean, I'm over 1,000 subs now. Like I have something Teespring. Lisa, I'll probably be messaging you, figuring out how the hell to do this, because I know you're the one figuring it out.
Well,
because you said Lisa did it. Lisa, Lee is really good at giving you credit for things. Like, he never says I did. He's like, oh, Lisa figured it out.
Yeah.
So he's always honest.
I'm an honest man. I don't know anything about technology.
And anyway, one of these days I had to figure it out. Because one night everybody was on me, come on, man, you gotta make merch. I was like sitting here like tired. I'm like, I don't have the mental capacity to figure this out right now. Like, just to say, like, to do now, it just does not compute in my brain sometimes. And but yeah, it's something that's on my mind a little bit to do something for fun. Oh,
Yeah, do it,
I
man.
love STD shirt. Oh, that would be. Oh, that's so funny. That's a good one. Um,
That's
I do-
that's almost as good as there's one of the other vaping channels that we watch. They do a live every Sunday. Unfortunately, it's on at this exact same time.
yeah,
But a lot of the people that are going to be in this channel aren't going to be watching that anyway. So I'm not taking any viewers away from them. But
yeah,
they're called the Vaping Misfits. And they deal with a lot of mental health issues. It's not really about vaping. It's just helping people out.
yeah.
And one of the casters on that channel, well, he's the main caster. He's got Tourette's, and what one of his little tics. This will probably get demonetized now from YouTube. He's fuck shit monkey tits, and he's done a T-shirt with that on.
Oh man, that's pretty.
I'll get Lisa to send you the picture. She's got one of those T-shirts.
Nice. Yeah. No, send it. I'd like to see it. Guitar merch. Yeah, guitar would be one of them. That's
Guitar,
the main
and
thing.
today is my birthday.
Oh, that's that's a good idea too. But yeah,
Yeah.
I have to kind of work on that because I'd like to have like something like I really like your like logo. I almost think we've tried different ones like on paper and stuff. I almost think I should just see if those guys would make me a cool one kind of like that.
Yeah.
They I think I follow their Instagram page. Simple sure
Oh,
to say Bauer Dictionary, Starbucks, guitar, Kerr. That's what he hears. Everybody hears
camouflage.
You know what? The video I did, which I think will get some views over time, it's the Epiphone one. The first thing.
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
It's a good one. The Vaping Misfits.
Yeah, they're a good bunch.
Vape Nation. I don't vape. I don't smoke. Anyway, I remember the first thing in the video I was talking about this Epiphone, and I kind of structured the video like I took something else. I'm like, do not do this to your guitar. And I didn't realize that I said guitar, like I really strung it out. I'm like, I didn't mean to do that, but I'm like, okay, apparently this is a thing that I actually do. But then there was the meme that I had made that it was made for me. But I did it in the Solar unboxing. When I first got it, I'm like, okay, we talked about this earlier. The people who get things first day. My goal is to be the first person to unbox a natural finish Solar. And I waited. I stayed home and I waited. And everybody's on Ola's Discord was like, guitar. And I was like, today we're going to unbox a guitar. And I did that. And it was just like, then there's the compilation that's kicks around the internet. It was a low key meme for a little bit. And over my wall, there's still it's behind.
Oh, you still got it up? Cool. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I used it as a meme in one of the Q&As I did.
You and Daryl, yeah, you made one, and Daryl made several, and Daryl's were great. Corey Allgoods was by far one of my favorites. I was like, what's this intro gonna be? I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, I don't know what this is gonna be. It's like, and I'm like watching this like really like well produced thing, and I was like, holy crap, that is amazing.
Yeah,
like every level amazing. And he showed me the one he was doing for you first, or you're stuck in the screen. When he's stuck in the screen, I'm like, oh man, just saw that. I don't know if I saw the first person to see it. I'm like, amazing.
And that's where those promos he's done for us too are amazing. They're absolutely cool.
Yeah, Corey's like one of the best video editors like around on here.
Absolutely, Shane.
Pantera. I was actually just jamming on Shattered not that long ago. I need to really like learn the whole thing, but it's that cool. Like it's a man. That's a really good song, man.
Yeah,
I love that song. How have we been here for almost 90 minutes? That's insane. You still good to go for a bit?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good for all night, me pal.
Yeah, I mean 5:30 now. It's like almost 7 my time. I guess it's what 11 there, and
yes, just 11.
Slayer. Yeah, I saw Slayer. It was on like I said, the Canadian Carnage tour, and it was with Megadeth and stuff. Jeff Hanneman still played with them at the time. Jeff Hanneman was still
Yeah,
alive.
well, I've seen them with both Jeff and Gary.
I want to tell one quick story from that show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I can remember twice Slayer came here, but once I was a teenager with no money, no car. Nobody had nobody had money or a car, at least in my group of friends at the time. I didn't have a job. I think I started a job just like a week or two later. The longest job I still ever held down. And Slayer came here with Damage Plan. Damage Plan was opening. And it was like about 6 months before Dime died. Maybe 5 or 6. It was the same year.
Yeah.
And I guess that show was friggin' insane. This would have been before everybody had a smartphone and gawking at that. It was like, I heard it was like pits. Somebody told me that they actually think they broke someone's jaw at that show. They hit them so hard. And one guy I went to school with had Dime's beer cup. He probably still has that beer cup to this day. I know that there was some lies spread around with that. And then I saw Slayer back about number of years. No, oh God, no festivals in this country. We're screwed. I'm not going to get into why. We can talk about that somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, we aren't opening up anytime soon. In fact, we just ended up more restrictions.
Oh, you've gone into lockdown again, have you?
Somewhat, although I've been out away from people. I mean, I did some light off-roading yesterday for a little bit. Just took out the RAV4 and wanted to go. I'm like, we were going to do something else. And I said, Dad, let's just go here. And it was fun. And just to get out. So I've been spending more time around the water and in the woods or at home.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's safe to go out in the woods and it's safe to go in the water as long as it's not too rough. And so it'll probably be a lot of hanging out in the woods and hanging out. Well, flies will be hitting soon, so probably not. Funny thing is, when I did my last playthrough video, I saw the flies were out that night, and then weather's going to be crap all week. So this weekend, the weather was nice, so I took advantage of getting outside.
Cool.
Plus, get video stuff done. Slayer. Back to Slayer. I saw them on tour. This would have been 2010, summer of 2010. Was watching Slayer. I was over in the lower bowl, and they were just up there ripping. Probably on. They played the whole Seasons album on that tour, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just see like the stage hands coming, take two guys hauling this guy, and they just take him and drop him off the stage. It's like, holy shit! Like literally, he must have like stormed it and made it up there, and they're just like, no, bang, dropped. And, they were not having it, and it's like, what? They just completely dropped. I've never listened to Anvil. I probably have listened to Anvil.
Yeah, you'll have heard odd beats from them. Yeah. Luckily, we managed to get tickets to go see Slayer on the final tour.
Nice.
Oh, that was a good night. We got Slayer, Lamb of God, Anthrax, and Obituary.
Oh, that's a good lineup right there.
That was one brutal show.
I'd be exhausted for like 2 days after that show, but it'd be worth it. Obituary, how are they?
Oh, they're awesome. Seen them a few times over the last sort of 5 or 6 years.
Brian, can I find your music outside of YouTube? Yes, some of it is on Spotify. I need to I just got Jared to say they put more of it on there. I need to fix a few things up. But yeah, I am on Spotify. If you search my name, I'm there. I don't think there's that many songs. That's our Gowan cover is on there. Funny, I tried to get Lawrence Gowan to listen to that song. I tried to message him, couldn't get a hold of him. Whatever. We did a metal cover of a Canadian pop song from the 80s called Moonlight Desires. And me and a friend of mine did that. I was basically everything except the vocals. And then the video, we had some help. And, things getting the block messages. Lawrence is an older guy, so he might not give a crap. Hey, I like Bryan Adams. Nickelback has a couple okay songs, but I'm not a big fan. But Bryan Adams, I do like Bryan Adams, okay?
Yeah, some of the early stuff's not bad.
Yeah, no, I like my rock music, man. So anyway, I was talking about something. What was I saying again? something. I'm losing my focus. I'm pretty tired. How did she fall asleep for How did she fall asleep for an Anthrax? We were talking about shows or something, and I'm
Yeah,
I'm lost.
you were talking about the guy getting chucked off the stage at
Yeah,
Slayer.
yeah. I think I finished that story.
Yeah.
I'll remember tomorrow. This is how I. This is a regular conversation with me. That's the only one of the big four I haven't seen.
Oh, Anthrax are good live.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a story about people. Well, it's actually about me falling asleep at a show. This was at Donington Park. You know how it's called Download these days.
Yep.
This was back in the Monsters of Rock days. So we're going back to mid-90s, and it was Kiss were headlining, and Ozzy was a special guest. And I fell asleep through Kiss, and I slept through Kiss's entire show.
All right. Good night, Valeria. I see she's taking off, so she.
All right. See you later.
But yeah, it's super late for you guys over in Europe and stuff. It's a lot later, so they have to. Well, no, I don't listen to Body Count.
Early stuff I've listened to. I've actually been to see him at Nottingham Rock City, but that was on their was it on the first or second tour they did in the UK? But I've not listened to anything past the second album.
Yeah. Man, Monsters of Rock would have been cool. See, some of those things I would never have seen. My first big show was Ozzy Osbourne.
Mm.
And I forget what the tour name was. It was around 2008. That was my first big show. That was worth spending the money on. I want to tell a bit of a story about that. Now, hopefully I'll keep on track. And now we got to talk about an artist that some Canadians love. Most of us, well, at least people like me, know one song. And it's from a movie about a ship that sank. And if you play in reverse, it's about a ship that saves everybody from the water. It's a Titanic movie. And there was a very popular song with that called "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion.
Yeah, I know the one you need.
Now I want to explain this. This does come around, okay? So they started doing concerts. Now I want to just paint a picture for people who aren't from Nova Scotia. We are out of the way. It's an expensive place to tour to. While some bands do come here, there's like Devin Townsend's not going to come here. Okay, we're not big enough. Okay.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we get bigger bands. Sometimes they come here and they generally go to the Metro Center, but they started doing some bigger shows like outside at where was it? I forget. Citadel Hill did some. I went to a couple concerts on Citadel Hill years ago. And then there was just a big hill with a military fortress on it, like an old one. And then started doing them out at the Commons is called, this big outdoor area. So they built this big stage and they had a few shows. So they had the Rolling Stones, I think was the first one. If my buddy's here in the chat, he could probably correct me, but I think the first big one was the Rolling Stones. And it was like, successful. And there were some other shows. But there were rock shows, okay?
Yeah.
And there was a massive hype. They started hyping up. It's like, hey, there's going to be a concert announcement coming up. There's going to be a big show here. And everybody wants to hear like AC/DC. They want to hear like a big rock band's coming to town. Not some little thing, something that we don't get, like, an AC/DC or something like that, which they obviously still touring around then and all this hype. And then they make the announcement. It's Celine Dion. People are pissed. They are not happy. Everybody wanted a rock show. So I think I was in my second year of university at the time. And I was pretty young still, like maybe like 20 years old. I was definitely still a teenager. Anyway, so our local station Q104, nothing but a bunch of shit disturbers. And then at the time, there was a new channel called HAL FM for about the last year. Their shows for 2 days were shitting on this Celine Dion show coming to town. There was one of them. They even had people calling up, and they would play them really awful clips from Celine Dion songs, and play for people. They'd be like, "Wow, that sounds terrible," and they were doing this like they were just going to town. It was pretty entertaining. And this is not to say that Celine Dion is not talented. Okay, Celine Dion is incredibly talented, but it's like, you know what I mean, like. This should have been an indoor
hyped up to see AC/DC
or something like AC/DC. That's the only thing I can think of that'd be big, but that would have been like massive. Like that would have been like, holy crap! Like that would have got people turned. Like
that would have sold out in like hours.
Oh my god, yeah, I would have went to that. And anyway, there was one up in New Brunswick which I didn't go to and don't regret it. But big shows sometimes can mean a lot of dicks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, I'm going to roll. Oh, sorry. I'm going to roll this now. So, yeah, go on, carry on.
So, anyway, if that would have been a show, like the indoor spot, which I wouldn't call a stadium, it's pretty small. It's not like the Bell Center in Montreal or something like that, where they play NHL, where I actually saw Iron Maiden, which, I mean, if it would have been just the Metro Center to 10,000 people, they would have been cool. People would have been cool with that, but they hyped this thing up, and then it's like hyping somebody up, saying, "Hey guys, we're going to McDonald's," and you end up at Old People Burger, which I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
it's like where you get like something loaded onions, nothing's good, and it was like that. It was like the feeling of getting something to eat, but you just want it over with.
Yeah.
And so her at the time husband / manager, which is a whole story in itself, is that he found out about this and he wasn't too happy. So they decided to cancel the show and said she would never come here. I think she plays shows in Vegas or something anyway. So they were blaming one of the buddies from Q104, which isn't that great of a channel, just saying. And they got to stop with so much AC/DC every day. And I know I just mentioned them, but they literally, if you can play it, if you play AC/DC all damn day.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
then Supertramp. And then these bands, like, I don't like, it's awful. Like, I don't want to hear Hotel California anymore. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't need to hear the new Nickelback song. I don't want to hear the new Ballas Rock song. Okay. Either way, I'm way off track. So they cancel. And they're like, what's this going to mean? So later, it wasn't that many months later, like a couple months, they announced Ozzy Osbourne. Sold out in 9 minutes. They had to open a second show.
Jesus.
And we were first in line for tickets. Now, there was several locations selling. So the local superstore was selling the tickets. So this one morning, he said, we're going to get up early. A friend of ours, he comes, picks us up in his parents' car. And we're going to go up to, I was wondering what you were doing for a second. I love how you were like, I'm going to break this freaking thing. I'm like, wait, he's filling up his vape.
Yeah, I'm filling up my juice, yeah.
Hey, you should tell us what flavor you're smoking.
Well, it's not smoking, it's vaping.
Okay, what flavor are you vaping?
This
what
is
vaping you smoking?
Actually, no, I'll put wrong one in there. I'm actually vaping on some mixed berries.
Mixed berries.
It's quite nice.
Sweet, but I won't think you're cool in a movie.
Yeah.
You're like the coolest people always smoked in movies, right? So, yeah. So it was cold this one morning too, because the show was going to be, I think, February, if I remember correctly. And it was December. They put them on a Saturday morning just before everything was like totally online sales.
Yeah.
You had to go buy tickets.
Yeah.
And you had to go get in line to buy a ticket. So our first big concert, we're like flying up there. It's like, look, and no one is in the lineup. And I literally we got out of the car and we just beelined her. And what everybody was doing is there's a bunch of people, they were all sitting in their cars and they wouldn't get out. And they were all hoping on the fact that they were all like kind of playing on the idea that, well, if they don't get out, we won't get out. And we looked and we're like, we're getting in line. I don't regret getting in line first because it's first come, first serve when it comes to tickets.
Exactly.
So we ended up like, soon as I think they went on sale at 10 a.m., I want to say 10 or 9 or 10 a.m. We waited. And of course, all these people miserably coming out of their cars afterwards, but there's nothing they can do because they could have been first and they chose to stay where it was comfortable.
Yep.
And we chose to go to the door. So we did. We went up. There were $90 a ticket, I think, to get them. We got them lower bowl, although I think I would have done floor, although I would have been covered in like white goop because he has that like hose that he's spraying around at the time. And the upcoming band at the time opening was In This Moment, and they're huge now and like pop metal, I would call it. And the coolest thing at that show, I've seen it was just like it was the most exciting thing to know you were going to see Ozzy Osbourne. It was so cool, like to see the dude. Like
I've seen Ozzy a couple of times.
And I still remember I checked out In This Moment, and they were pretty cool. I liked a few of the songs. Like Beautiful Tragedy was out at the time, and yeah, I remember we were outside, and they had their own bus, and Ozzy had their own bus. I mean, I toured Ozzy, and so I was outside, and I see this big guy Dreads coming by, or was it Dreads? I forget. Anyway, he was pretty unique looking dude. And he's just like walking in amongst the crowd, and all these people are there to see Ozzy. They don't care about this new metal band. There's an opening band. We drink beer outside when they're playing. And I think that's kind of a rude thing to do with a lot of opening bands, because some of those opening bands are like the next big band, like 10 years later. They get huge. And this is like they were kind of still like maybe finding their way, but they were doing good, got a good tour and had just a hit that was doing pretty cool, good for them. And so outside, this guy walking around, like, and I just said, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Cool. And friends are like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Well, it's Buddy from that band." It's like he's on the bus, and he actually came back a minute or two later, and actually he talked to us for a minute.
Cool.
It was really cool experience, and we were so close to the stage that he actually saw us from the stage. I remember that too, because he actually waved over. It was really Chris Howard's his name. He's still in the band, to my knowledge, and yeah, I don't know. It left a really good impression on me, though.
Yeah,
like I don't know the band, but just he wouldn't remember me, but I definitely remember him. So
yeah, it's all those sort of moments that stick with you, isn't it? But yeah, I had when were it? It was Maiden on the Seven Son of a Seven Son tour.
Oh,
yeah. It's same sort of thing before everything went on. I don't think even internet was a thing then. Not for the general public anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Queued at the local. I think that was Sheffield City Hall. Got tickets. I was one of the first ones in the queue. Come back out, got my tickets, and I just looked, and the queue was fucking too deep round the block. It sold out within an hour.
Whew.
And I think that was, from what I remember, I think that was basically the same, because at that time it was before the move to arenas in the UK. It was still sort of like this sort of City Hall, sort of 2,000-seat arena types.
Yep.
And all of them sold out with it within an hour. And they ended up doing an arena tour as well as the City Hall tour as well. So it was like pretty cool.
Yeah. Everything back then when you got to shows, how you said it sold out and all stuff. When you had to go buy the tickets, I don't know. It kind of felt very satisfying that you got in line and actually managed to snag tickets. And scalpers were always outside.
Oh.
Hey, Dad, you get some guys like, "Hey, you need tickets?" Like, no. I was like, yeah, I totally came to this show without fucking tickets.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I really want to buy
tickets to sell. Not to you, dickhead.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's like I showed up to the show, so I had a ticket. Although when I was in South Korea, one guy did buy me a ticket from a show. I paid him back for it. I know he bought that. I watched him buy it from a scalper. That was a weird thing. He's just like, hey, it was something I don't know why it worked that way. It was really strange. But like they'd be hanging out in the subway stations. It was kind of cool. Arctic Monkeys actually were the headliner of the show. But there was a metal stage. It was like a big festival, and there was a metal stage, and we went to the metal stage. So I saw the Arctic Monkeys for like a minute, and then I went to the metal stage because a Korean band named
originally Arctic Monkeys are from the next city down from me.
Oh yeah. That's pretty cool. I don't know much by them, but I
saw. No, I think there's only one or two songs I know of theirs.
Yeah, I don't necessarily really listen to that kind of rock and roll per se. That's nothing against the band. I just
it's not on our radar, is it?
Yeah, it's like I know it because a friend of mine has played it when he was here. But we made a video for a friend of his Christmas present. He said, "Hey, can you help me with this thing?" I'm like, "Sure." So he wanted to splice it in Arctic Monkeys. Keep in mind, when you're not doing things for YouTube and you're just giving this thing to a friend, you can use all the copyrighted music and all that stuff. So he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
he says,
they did something. It did work out quite well. Yeah,
yeah.
last UK tour they did, or last couple of UK tours, they did like a ticketless system, and to prevent the scalpers from getting tickets.
Yeah. It's a good idea to do that though. But man, like if I'm doing my own thing and stuff, I would never ever do it. It's weird when somebody's like, "Yeah, I can get you a ticket this way." I'm like, "All right, you figure it out and you do your thing.
Yeah,
We're gonna go." But for me, like, no, absolutely. It's like
yeah.
it's like with the video card thing. They're all being sold by scalpers. I won't give in to them. Stupid.
No,
But
last time we went to see Maiden, a guy that I used to work with, he'd left the company that I used to work for, and the company that he was working for at the time, I think he still is. They got something to do with Sheffield Arena, some sort of sponsorship, and he says, "Do you want to go see Maiden?" I says, "Yeah, how much at tickets?" He says, £5. Yeah, get me some tickets quick.
yeah. Oh man. So, is there any shows you want to see after like if things open up again?
Well, we have got some tickets booked. We have got we've paid for insurance just in case it doesn't go ahead. But we've got tickets booked for October to go see Carcass and Arch Enemy.
Oh man, you know what sucks? I was going to go see Arch Enemy once, and the show got canceled the week it was happening.
Oh,
fuck! It was just like it was Chthonic was opening. You
Yeah.
know who I mean? Chthonic, they're the band from Taiwan.
All right, yeah.
They're like almost like a blackened kind of like metal
Like
band.
black and death metal.
Yeah, kind of thing, like Jesse Lou or what. I don't know. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. I pronounce everything wrong. You guys know that. Yeah. So basically, everything like Korea had so many just canceled shows. I was gonna see Norther when I was there. I had tickets to see Norther. I never got a refund on those Northern tickets. I think it's because I don't understand the language. And here was another thing that screwed up. You know the band Gulnurius, Japanese power metal band?
Oh yeah.
I got to see them. Had I bought the tickets through some other thing, I would have been able to actually meet Shu. Like he's a dude. Me and you would dwarf that guy. he's Japanese and he wears like Uggs. You ever watch him play? Like there's some old videos. He wear like Uggs. And you have this like ESP star shaped guitar. Always ESP with those guys. I don't think those guys have ever seen an LTD in their life. Always ESP or Edwards or something. I think it's the ESP one.
Yeah.
And man, that show was so freaking good, though. I got to see them the night before that. I got to see Judas Priest for the first time.
Oh, nice.
And I thought it'd be the last time. I've seen them 3 times now.
Oh, cool.
And,
yeah, I've only seen Priest once. Oh, when was that? I think that was about 87, 88. That were awesome.
That would have been so cool back then.
Oh,
you know what, man?
Support band was Killer Dwarfs.
I don't know them.
I think they're a Canadian band, or they were a Canadian band.
They were, and then they changed their citizenship, right?
Yeah.
to Middle Earth. Then they were a Middle Earth band because they're Killer Dwarfs. So, yeah. Oh man, Arch Enemy would have been so freaking cool to see.
Oh yeah.
But Gulnurius was
on that bill.
Awesome
there's 4 bands. There's Arch Enemy, Carcass, Behemoth, and I can't remember who the 4th band is. I've never heard of them.
I don't care if the 4th band sucks. I would go watch one of those 3, like just them.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen Arch Enemy. I've never seen Behemoth. I've seen Carcass, but that was 1991.
Holy crap, that would have been good. Was that when Heartwork was out?
No, it was Necroticism.
Okay, back
It
when there
was
was the
on
real like
the,
grindy stuff. Some of
oh
that
yeah,
was good music. You know what? But though one of my favorite metal albums is Heartwork.
oh yeah. That
It's just
that, that
such a
that
good
is an
record.
absolutely fantastic album.
Yeah.
Production on that album is awesome as well.
Oh
But yeah,
man, it's so cool.
that that
So
that
good.
that tour was called the Gods of Grind. It was one of these earache label tours.
Yeah.
So you got Carcass, Entombed,
Oh man.
Cathedral, and Confessor.
Okay, I've heard of Cathedral. I don't know Confessor.
Yeah,
There
I
are
don't
so
think
many
they're about
bands.
anymore. They were sort of like they were a bit thrashy with sort of like proggy type drums behind them. They were a
Oh
bit weird, but they
no,
were
that
cool.
sounds cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
There's a band I like that's from Canada. They're called Skullfist. They're like a new old school heavy metal band.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's like the older stuff, like classic heavy metal, but they're writing it now. There's a whole bunch of these bands out there. I
See you
think
later.
Cauldron might be one of them. There's another one, but Skullfist Live is one of the coolest shows. They're not a band. It's like let's digitally produce everything. They're like a real friggin'
Yeah.
heavy metal band. And when they play live, it's not even they think the vocals are always done with the same guy on the record. Live, they swap the vocals back and forth. So sometimes the bass player sings the whole song
Oh,
instead. And they were such a good show. There's a really cool band from here too that I really like called Blackmore as well.
Yeah.
They're from Nova Scotia. They're kind of like Skullfist, and I'm pretty sure they're buddies. I think they've toured together and stuff too. I know Eric a little bit from the band.
Yeah, that's
Blackmore
what I liked about Power Trip. Unfortunately, the singer's not around anymore.
See Eric. See Eric had to take off. So.
Oh, see you later, Eric.
Power Trip.
Yeah. That's why I like they were doing that sort of old school thrash.
Yeah.
Type stuff. But yeah, unfortunate that he passed away at the time. Yeah.
Shane said he's going to see Jeff Tate next year. So Queenstrike is a band that I thought were friggin' really good too, especially Empire is a great record, and the other one, Operation Mindcrime. Like, I don't know if you can make records that are just as good, but I don't know if you can make records better than Operation Mindcrime. It's just they just nailed it. Then they try to redo it again. It's just like
nah.
Here's one for you. You fan King Diamond?
Odd bits.
Okay.
Not a great fan, just odd things here and there.
Because the vocals turn people off, but man, like you put on Abigail from front to back, that is such a good album. And the Them is really awesome too. But like just that, it's just the right kind of old school heavy metal guitars happening.
Yeah.
That
absolutely.
There's just something about it. I don't know how. Somebody could try. I could try to do it again, and it would never work because this is Andy LaRock, man. I don't know if that's how you say it, but yeah, King Diamond, just that whole thing.
Yeah, they were pretty damn good. But I think that's the as much as we're in a good place for home recording. I think there is a thing to be said for that old school analog recording where you've got to get that takedown. You've only got so many tracks to play with. Just get in there and get it done.
And I bet there's mistakes on that record.
Oh,
you would never know the difference.
No,
apparently, Eruption by Van Halen. He apparently screwed it up, and he just lived with the take. So everybody actually listening to a mistake, but then he probably had to learn the mistake. To play that live. So imagine you're doing this thing.
Well, I did hear a start. I don't know which song it was, but Eddie recorded 6 different versions of a solo on one song, and he picked the best bits out of each of the 6 takes, and then he had to go back and relearn the whole solo to play it live.
Oh man,
that's like shit.
I see there's some King Diamond fans in here, but I was watching one of I think it's from about 5 or 6 years ago. I think a live DVD. I think they filmed it in Philadelphia. And and he plays all the Abigail record. I went through some of that and on there one night. You know what, man? That band still was bringing it live, and
Oh
King
yeah,
was bringing it
they
live
still
too.
rock.
Oh man, I think it Mike Weed or a few of them playing, but oh man, here's another one. Speaking of ambient rock, Individual Thought Patterns by Death is such a good record.
Oh yeah,
Andy's on that.
Oh, I mean, Chuck. Yeah, some people might not be able to get into the early Death stuff, but when he started expanding his horizons of the subjects he was writing, he was a bloody good songwriter. Absolutely amazing songwriter.
Although I know it's an earlier one, but the song like Pull the Plug,
yeah,
some of that stuff, like I still think the live version of that with Shannon Ham is better than the recorded one.
Yeah,
because they were a live band. All those bands.
Oh yeah,
they were all live earlier.
bands.
Like all those bands back then, they were live bands. And I got an ant here calling my studio monitor. I want to kill it so bad right now. It's a spider. Spider, you can crawl around for a bit. You might kill a fly. It comes in here. I'll get the spider's benefit of dope, but ants, oh man, you're gonna go. But yeah, Individual Thought Patterns. But I love that record. But it really kind of started once Human, and he brought in Sean and Paul, who were doing Cynic before they put out Focus. And I think Sean and Paul they were real young guys, but they had this different approach to playing. And while I think a lot of the solos you hear probably there were still Chuck solos, but just bringing that style into the fold. But they went and did their own thing, Focus, and then Individual Thought Patterns came up with Gene Hoglan, Andy, and Steve DiGiorgio.
Yeah,
there's a band right there.
That would a good lineup.
You hear that Trapped in the Corner. That solo that Andy plays is. I saw one guy on Instagram replicate that pretty good the other day, but he has it's very stylistic playing, like sort of in the Marty Friedman vibe, but it's very much Andy's own style. And it's hard to beat. It's like the do 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 do. And the great thing about that song, I mean, with Andy's solo is like you have this killer solo, but the rhythm behind it is as catchy as the solo.
Yeah.
It's like the it's just like it's you could not improve that song. And you know another thing. Here's another thing too. I don't think there's any real reason to ever go back and think that we got to make it sound as modern as you can.
No,
it sounds awesome.
Those albums are just perfect as they are.
Yeah, this is a thought of mine. Trivium, I would love to see Trivium. I've seen Brent Venom Prism.
I've seen Trivium supporting Slipknot.
I got to stand up for 1 second and do something. Hold up.
Easy Tiger. And he said, "Let there be light."
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it up because I got the Philips Hue system down here. I even have light strips behind the computer, but I won't turn those on now. So I flick this on, and then I just go boom, and then my lights are different again.
Oh, check you out!
You can upload your own photos into the app too, or if you find a cool wallpaper or something. Like here, I got this cool one here. It's this blue vibe. It's from a photo I took myself, and I just put it in here, and it makes a vibe off that. But you can just there's like a whole color wheel. You can, you can change it all up there.
Cool.
And do all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. I have one bulb in the living room as well. Let me go back to the scenes. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah. So I'll just do this again. Oh, it's not. There we go. It's clicked in now. I got one in the living room, but I can only get like one solid color. But down here I can get a bunch. Different ones because I have 4 bulbs, 2 light strips, and 2 bars. I bought them for doing videos. Now doing this angle is not so good, but going the other way for my regular content, it looks way better. So it was an improvement on the videos. Yeah, man. I do have a channel. I do have a channel. Yeah, I've been around.
But he does keep spamming it out. But I'm sure one of the mods will pop it in chat for you.
That absolutely. Oh yeah, exactly. I'm just kind of keeping up with the chat here too. I like doing that. Yeah. Anyway, as for other albums, and there was Symbolic. That was an album.
Oh,
I thought was
Symbolic's a good album.
that's a
I
good
think
one too.
what one of my favourite Death songs is Lack of Comprehension.
Oh, that's on Human.
Yeah, that is one of my favourite Death songs.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man.
That really sort of clean intro, and then it.
Yeah, do you know live? I watched the live video of them playing that thing at a Dynamo over. I want to say it might be the
Dynamo
Netherlands or something. I say everything wrong, but anyway, so they played that. They didn't change channels. They play that live. It's just all distortion. Okay,
cool.
Here's a weird thing that I did not understand when they started with the thing like what was their last record? Sound of Perseverance lineup with Shannon Ham. Shannon's a killer guitar player, but I don't know what it is. But he played the solo, his part of the solo for Spirit Crusher. It always sounds weirdly out of tune, and I don't know why. What happened? Because the rest of it sounds fine, but it's just I found the solo sounded weird, and I don't know if other people. Maybe it's just my ear. I'm like that. I think I said I wanted it to sound like the record, but it just sounded. They might have just had an odd moment.
Yeah,
are you a fan
an odd moment, or it might have been the guitar were in a different tuning for that.
To be fair though, that whole set though they still played tight.
Yeah,
like it sounded good. Okay.
That's one
thanks,
thing
dude.
about Chuck. He surrounded himself with good musicians.
Right. Lisa says she'd like to see Amon Amarth. I 100% agree. Amon
Yeah.
Amarth would be an amazing show. And I hear they tour on a boat, like a Viking boat.
Yeah.
There's a really good documentary about that band. Hey, no problem, dude.
No, worry about it, Deaf World.
Hey, I gotta get ready for work tomorrow too. But hey, for me, it's early, so I'm still cool to hang out for a bit. I'm having
if you're
fun.
still cool, if people still want to hang around in chat, then I'm still cool.
Yeah, I'm actually having so much fun just hanging out here chatting.
Cool.
I gotta do more of this stuff too myself on the channel, and maybe get maybe me and you should do a stream on my channel some night.
Definitely, yeah.
We should do that sometime,
definitely
maybe in a month or something. Because here's the thing: we did the podcast, we never talked like this before, and it was super fun. And it's been great starting to do those little interviews. Although I've only done 5 so far. It's that instead of being just a text message, a lot of you guys around the world, everybody's a text message, and this new normal, as we call it, everything's a text message, and it's so cool. It's so nice to be able to talk to. Somebody.
Even though it's virtually, you're still actually conversing with somebody, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's weirdly enough, like me and you've talked so much. It's like I feel like, even though I haven't met you in person, I feel like I know you in a sense too. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping, absolutely, I really hope that once things come back together, that I can meet some of the people that I've met from these things.
Definitely.
Waves out at the camera, and she gets him a beer. I got it by myself. Like he's like, it's like I had to be like, Brian, do the dishes. Brian, cook dinner. Oh wait, that's me. Brian, edit that YouTube video. Oh wait, that's me too. This is one of the things why it takes so hard to put things out. And like I know Robin was saying he didn't have anything out for like 5 weeks, and I can see why. Like it's freaking hard to do. You can burn out. You got to enjoy life too. But you know what?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
saying that.
That's why I've been able to put so much content out over the last 12 months, because I've been working from home, even though I'm still working 12 hours.
Yeah.
When it's that sort of quiet time during the shift, I can I'll spend half an hour just editing this video.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back to it.
I try not to get in that too much. If something's going to take about 5 minutes,
I
might do it quickly. But the problem is, like, I know I can get drawn in, and some days are just way too busy to do that. So I try to limit that. I've been taking a guitar break every day though. My 15, it's a guitar break. The worst thing was my 15-minute used to be an exercise break. That really helped.
What's that?
I would do I would do stairs. I would go up and down the 7 flights of stairs, and I would just do it twice. And then some lunch hours, I would do it like 5 or 6 times. Like, man, you kept those muscles in shape, but at home, I'm not going to climb up and down the split entry stairs. That's just boring. There's nowhere to go. I always go for a walk or something anyway, for the most part after a while. And so I do that every day. But having a guitar break at home, I still like it. I don't get it every day, but I do it just to split the day up. So I find too, where I work at home, I find I'm actually more tired working at home. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I'm finding I'm all right. Sometimes if I'm on working days and I'm on a lunch break, I'll have a nap on my lunch break sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't get into that one because that's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
but if I don't,
but yeah, well, once this is all over, and we're going to get some passports sorted out, and then we're going to come over to that side of the pond and come and see you guys.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
You, Pat, Mike,
I feel like Corey. What if it would work? I don't know if it would.
Hey,
for Canada right now, it's way too early to plan this. But I honestly think the best bet would be to have like an American meetup somewheres.
Yeah,
if people are gonna do it, like where I live, it's too out of the way for people. It'd almost be better to be like, honestly, it'd probably be California. But at the moment, like, man, we can't go anywhere. So it won't be this calendar year. And I really wanted to go to NAMM in 2021. And
yeah,
I knew a year ago that wasn't going to happen.
No.
I
wish I went to 2020. I'd like to go to at least once.
I'd like to try it. Some people say do it in a day, but I would like to hang out with like Corey and Mike,
Corey, Mike, Pat.
But I mean, it'd be so hard to fit everybody in. And there's other places in the world I'd like to go to. Like I'd like to meet some people from other places as well.
Can I have another beer, please?
I actually would like to go to Japan at some point. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Massive mistake I made is I dated somebody for a while and she went to England. So I went to England, which I don't regret going to England. But if I was smart, I would have stayed single and went to Japan. And
that's it. I can say I've been to England. And all you'd have seen would have been guitar shops.
Oh, it would have been amazing. That would have been, dude, that would have been so cool. And then sushi and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Japan, I mean, from living in Korea, I can tell you one thing, like it's a lot more fun when you're not from there, but like as a tourist and doing things, it is really fun, especially when you get to explore and go places. Like you should have seen, like, so I'll tell you the story. Korea, I looked up, I remember I was, where was that? Middle of nowhere's, just had a smartphone for like the last year, back when it was like 2010. And I was thinking about going, oh no, when I was confirmed that I had a job in Korea. I was looking, I'm like, what do they have for guitar stores in Korea? Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Where we have this? How do you say
Hofmeister.
it? Hofmeister.
Follow the bear.
Anyway, I was looking that thing up. Like I was out, like, middle of nowhere. It's probably patchy signal. I found this thing. There's a place called the Nagwon, which is a massive music equipment market in Seoul. Yeah. So I'm like, I have to go.
Absolutely.
It's like, I have to go. And I'm pretty sure that one of the first things I asked on the first day since there is, where's the Nagwon? And there happened to be a guy that I worked with and knew. And I didn't get there right away, but I remember I wanted to go. And one of the most daunting things when you're in like a country like that is figuring out, like, you're going to Seoul. Seoul is massive. And I'm from this little place. It's so, like, the city here is not that big. Like, I don't live in a city, but like going to Halifax, it's not that big. And you go to Seoul, like, it's just dense. It's crazy. It's got subways, buses. And it's like, okay, I got to take this bus. I went with a friend of mine that actually lived here for a long time. She happened to be visiting her parents in Korea. So she took me to Seoul the first time. She's not into guitars and stuff.
No.
She's not into that kind of stuff. Metal to her is just noise. And I still appreciate that to this day, that she actually was cool enough to come down and like show me around a little bit. She knew the language, even though she's very much more of a Canadian than that, because she's lived here for so long. But still, she could knows the language because she is Korean, and we did that. That's cool. So one day I'm like, gonna go. The store, it's like 2 levels, but it's just this like massive, like it's not, I wouldn't call it fancy, but this big friggin' mall. It's this big loop. And it's all stores that sells musical instruments. Like there's harp stores, there's drum set. You could build like custom drum sets, all this stuff there. I don't there's, and even in the halls, it was vendors upon vendors. I even saw a toilet seat with strings. I saw Ernie Ball, Music Man, Ball Family Reserve, John Petrucci 7-string. That was a lot of words. They wouldn't let me try it. It was like $5,000. Screw that. I didn't need it that bad. I wanted a 7-string. I'm like, whatever. I ended up buying an RGA from the States instead. Kind of a mistake in hindsight, but still have it. I've destroyed that thing so much. It's never worth selling. I would never make my money back, but live and learn, right?
Absolutely.
It's actually a number of videos too. But anyway, went in there. It's just the stuff. The second floor was like more stores that maybe I'd be used to seeing. Like I remember I wanted to try. I probably would have, if I would have liked it and would have bought it. They were selling Parker flies. Remember Parker guitars?
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
I don't know if they even make those anymore. They were selling Parker flies, but one thing I found is that some of the shop owners weren't that nice. But if you knew how to barter, you could do that sometimes too. I wouldn't say there was deals per se all the time, but there was just so much stuff. There was brands that you never saw, like swing guitars.
All right, Shane. See you later.
Hey, have a good night, Shane. So there was things like swing guitars you never saw. You don't see that brand here.
No,
Cort is something that you see some, but there's tons and tons of Cort guitars around. Korea. Just so many of them. I forget what else, but then man, you could find like Ibanez, like just sprawling with Ibanez. I saw something like they weren't knockoff Schecters, but they look like Schecters with different names. Somewhere I have some pictures, and I wish that I had like doing the YouTube thing. Like I did it a little bit here and there, but not like I do it now. To actually have a video of a tour of the Nagwan would have been just such
that'd have been awesome. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I went in there. I remember getting off the bus and going there. It was just so cool to go in and see like everything on its own. But at the time you couldn't really find 7-strings there. They didn't have. They had that John Petrucci. It wasn't really a thing that much. And I heard they were around. They left. It was mostly a 6-string market, and I don't know if they were just behind or what. There was one band in Korea at the time that used 7-strings, and they were called, it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't remember it, but there was one band, they were from Busan, and they played 7s, and that was the only band I ever saw playing 7-strings. And then right after I bought this one, what did they do? About a month or two later, I see some Ibanez premium 7-strings around. There was a store, I remember, it's just such high-end stuff in one of them. And there was a lot of like junky stuff too, but there was some that sold really high-end stuff. I remember there was one, they were all in glass case. There was like Fender custom shops. I remember there was like Suhr, if you know the brand Suhr, S-U-H-R.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I might be saying like Suhr or something. It's not a Suhr microphone, but Suhr, I think. They had those kind of things, and I tried an actual, like one of the high-end Ibanez Mick Thompson guitars. Not the 2 model, not like the black 2 model one, the red one that said it had 7 up the heads, up the
fretboard. Yeah.
And like the ebony fretboard, like nothing cheaped out on. That guitar was so freaking good. It was just they only were gonna let me play for a minute. I had to have a Korean person with me, and they did the talking. And I was allowed to play that. I bought a Black Star amp there at the time too. Sold that because you can't plug it into the walls here. Keep in mind that we only have like 110.
You only have
watts or something.
Yeah, you only have baby power over there.
Yeah,
we're 240 volts over here.
Yeah, and then they had the double whatever it was in Korea. I have I actually had a power converter there too, which I had a whole power bar that was a strip of Canadian American power in my apartment. So I did that too. Oh yeah, I thought ahead, man. So I could plug in my pod because I had a Pod X3, but I had a bought his little Blackstar, and it was like a little 1-watt tube amp. It sounded good, man. I wish I saw him. He still wishes I had it, but it just didn't work here.
I've only ever tried one Blackstar amp, but it weren't a proper. It was like one of these digital amp modeling type amps. It weren't a proper valve amp. So it would have been nah.
Yeah. So this little thing, it was awesome. I remember they had it on like this little thing up there front, and I just think I bought something else, and I had to wait another month till I got paid. I asked the guy how much he wanted for it. He said, "Well, it's blah blah blah. I forget what it was, but I'll sell it to you for this." I'm like, "Well, I'll think about it." 3 weeks goes by. It didn't sell. Walk in. So, at least from what I could tell, there's an old lady sometimes in these certain cultures. I think sometimes there's like the guys are doing the talking and sales, but there's an older woman running the money show.
Yeah, she's running the show. I showed up
again, and of course they remember who I am. I'm a foreign guy, and I show up, and I was like, I was gonna buy it, and he starts talking, and she interrupts him, and he goes, "I'll sell it to you for an even cheaper price than it was before." And I forget what they dropped like a bunch of money off it and said sold. They said they wanted cash, and I walked down to a bank. With that. I think that bank was really close to the place where they film StarCraft.
Yeah.
As well. And I remember walking up there, grabbing like whatever it was. It probably only worked out to be like probably not even $200 Canadian money or something. Maybe I don't remember what it was. It was a pretty good price. They remembered they didn't sell it. She's like, "Move it, take money, just move the thing."
I'm telling you, keep money.
What?
She's like, take the money now.
We want to eat. Yeah, it's like, want to sell it. She was like, if you're that determined, nobody else, like, I'm gonna move it because nobody gives a shit about this thing. So yeah, who knows where it ever ended up, if it's neglected or collecting dust somewheres. But anyway, trust me, my current rig is like a dream compared to some of the things I had. All right, since we're talking amps, best amp, worst amp you ever had. What was your first amp?
Oh, let me just answer Simo. Yeah, it's not bad, Simo. Like you say, it's nice, easy drinking lager.
I had a North Korean beer once. That was not the worst I've ever had, to be fair. I've had worse stuff from here.
Yeah. The first. Let me try and think. I'm going back a long time here. The first amp I had, it was a little 10-watt combo amp.
Yeah.
I think it was called a Badger.
A Badger?
Yeah. But oh man, that amp was absolutely garbage.
I had my first one, and a friend of mine still has it. It was a PV Rage. Like, I think it was probably a 10 or 15 watt amp.
Yeah, I think that was about a 10-watt amp.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're only a teenager, these amps are good enough when you're first learning.
Oh man, coolest thing I can remember. And this is how much noob it was. I want you to keep in mind. This is the first time I ever owned an amp, and it was 18 years ago. I'm not near. Didn't know anything. I had one guitar, a cable, a couple picks, and an amp.
Yeah.
And I remember I had it for a few weeks, and I only played clean channel. I'm like, well, what does this switch do? I plugged it down, and I moved that knob all the way to 10, and it was fucking distortion, and it was the coolest fucking thing. It's just like life is better with distortion.
Yeah. Luckily, this amp did have a gain knob on it, but yeah, it was crap.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I wouldn't say it was good gain. They call it trans tube technology because it sounds just like tubes, guys. But you know what? Back 18 years ago, the digital shit was not where it is now. Digital's come a long way.
Absolutely.
And tubes better. I still think that tubes are best. Like, I play with a cab in the room with the Kemper. I use an actual guitar cabinet.
Yeah.
I still think the actual guitar speakers and moving that air.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you play through a proper cab, then do it.
Yeah.
But obviously when I mean,
all the other stuff.
when I'm sort of recording stuff, obviously I'm either using a real amp with IRs or I'm using amp sims because next door, I mean, I might be recording at sort of 11 o'clock at night, and you can't really be disturbing people with a 100-watt amp at that time of night.
Yeah, it's just it's a different world now than back then. Hell, when I first tried amp sims about five-ish years ago, Neural DSP wasn't out yet either, and it was okay. Like it was better than what things might have been like before that, but the game has changed about the last 3 years so much, man. And like Kemper, like everything, like the modeling was really done well with the hardware. The Axe effects, the Kemper were the big things, and now Quad Cortex has entered the chat, and that's sounding good too.
From the demos I've heard on YouTube, that does sound pretty good.
Yeah,
but one day I might invest in either something like either a Kemper or a Quad Cortex. I don't know yet.
Kemper's actually been using the same thing for 10 years. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same
amp. That's the good thing I like about the Kemper. You can put any amp you want into it.
Yep. But Quad Cortex you can too.
Yeah. So it's like
you know, like Kemper, I mean, really what I like about Kemper is like why it has that kind of like old outdated screen and stuff. I don't really, it doesn't slow me down.
No. I love the Ugrtone stuff. I don't know if you've tried any of their drum programs.
Never tried Ugrtone.
They do. They're mainly for the mainly drum software.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've watched your videos on it.
Yeah, they have started doing 1 or 2 IRs. But what I like about their drum software, it's not overly polished and produced like a lot of the other ones. Like you get good drums, Easy Drummer, etc. Mm-hmm. So you can sculpt it to your tone, your sound. That's what I do like about their stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really raw sounding.
Yeah, I'm on the get good train. Not gonna lie. Someday I should get Superior though too to have that. But man, the money, it's just like.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I gotta dish out, I'm not gonna get into it on here, but I gotta dish out this stupid amount of money for something, and it's just like, it's dumb. But anyway, as for the Kemper, like I said, it doesn't slow me down. It has still that interface, like it has physical knobs.
Yeah.
For all that, like your EQ and stuff, it's like it plugs in. Like mine's a head, you can get a rack. It's very similar. It's all there. It all sounds good. And I know people are going to fight about what sounds good, what sounds better than this and that. Listen, your record is not probably going to sound better with Quad Cortex versus a Kemper because at that point, it's going to be up to you. Because they're all sounding good. How did everybody go, wow, that sounds so awesome, to being like, wow, the XFX32 sounds better. You know what I mean?
Like, well, this is like, it. Your average listener can't tell the difference between a real valve amp, a Kemper, a Quad Cortex, an Axe-Fx, a Neural DSP amp sim, an Audio amp sim. Yeah. It's all down to like most of, or some of us know, it's all down to the IRs and the producer.
Yep.
But your average listener can't tell the difference.
Yeah. One of the things I really do like about Kemper and Axe-Fx and these things is that they do put really unique reverbs and delays in some of these things too.
Yeah.
And like one of the tones I'm using now, like I'd have to find something that mimics it, like in a pedal if I was to do it, because I really like this delay. Like I said, it sounds like a synthesizer in the background. You let it like ring out, and all of a sudden you hear like the distortion goes down, but like this like almost synthy sound comes up.
Cool.
I know there's other pedals that do that. There's things, but man, it is. But like some of those things are cool. Like they have like in my song "Distant," I use the Ionosphere reverb. Just load it.
Absolutely, Simo.
Oh yeah, but now I'm gonna think about that the entire time.
Hey, one thing I did want to ask you about the Kemper Can you
Giver.
plug the Kemper directly into your audio interface? Or do
Oh
you
yeah,
need- yeah, cool.
yeah. It's just XLR or instrument, whatever your choice is, or
Cool.
SPDIF. You got SPDIF too.
Right.
Yeah, it's just there's no USB recording with that one, and that's fine by me. It hasn't slowed me down for a second. Okay.
No.
I understand the benefits of doing things like that, but yeah, I actually, like, seriously, if I turned it on right now, you would hear me play it. It would be just direct from that into there.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I've got a load box powered attenuator,
yeah.
so at least with that, I can use real amps and plug directly into my audio interface and just use whatever I are and record with the real amp.
Yep. And no, that's something I like to do too. I heard a guy with he had a Victory Kraken tone. So
Cheers,
good,
Scouse.
man.
You're a top bloke yourself, mate.
And, yeah, Nightbot.
Nightbox. Although I'd like to say to Aidan, I think I've from watching his last review, I think I've lost the sub-ohm tank for that. I think his missus has nicked that.
Brains is a bit too wooden for this show. Am I too wooden for this show? Is that what that
You're
means?
not too wooden for this channel.
I don't know what wooden means.
Stiff.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's the wrong channel to be stiff on.
Yeah, exactly. We're chilled out on this channel.
This isn't it. Well, no, okay. When I mean stiff, it's not like a Pornhub channel, you know.
No.
Or OnlyFans or something. But you know.
Well, Simone's got an OnlyFans channel. It's called Only Cans.
Sitting at home playing with a 10K rig is yes.
Yeah. Little bro, Aidan. I had him on last time.
I think I missed that one though.
Yeah, he used to. I'm going to get him on again.
Okay. Awesome.
He used to do a lot of. He was in bands before. He used to do a lot of touring around Europe. He does a lot of DJing these days.
Okay.
So he's still got a lot of the gear that he had when he was touring.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? I kind of. Oh, hey, Kevin's gonna take off. Hey, thanks for sticking around, man. Keep your stick on the ice, just like I Red Green. I get the reference. There was a show in Canada. A lot of the old guys used to watch. It was definitely aimed at them. It's called the Red Green Show. It's like, keep your stick on the ice. Everybody would say Red Green would say. Red Green was kind of funny though. I still liked it. But yeah. As for all these rigs and stuff, these days though, man, recording with the Kemper is still. I still like recording with that thing. I find it still has a response. There's no latency. I find when I'm using something like that compared to a plug-in, and all stuff. Like I have a few of the Neural DSPs stuff, and I use the Dark Glass, mostly that in post. I used the Plini once in one bit of a video that's not even on my own channel, because for some reason that tone was the right tone for whatever I was doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I ran with that one.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm recording stuff. When I'm recording bass, I don't put any plugins on. I just record the DI, and then I'm saying I'll put the plugins on afterwards. It's different with guitar because if you need to hear what you're playing with the amp sims.
I actually use a Dark Glass profile and a DI at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I just have a wet and dry signal, so I just do that for tracking purposes. So I'll record it with the Kemper, and then I turn that off because the Neural DSP Dark Glass I find does better than the Kemper one. I don't know, something just a bit different with the Neural DSP one. Yeah. So I just think they knocked that one out of the park, man. It's a great plug-in. It sounds good. I don't use it a lot. It's in my new song though, because I mixed and mastered this one myself. So I did it. Yes, exactly. Kevin knows I'm talking about. Probably remembers The Littlest Hobo too. Until tomorrow,
Jesus.
I'll just keep moving on.
That's one for the teenagers.
Oh man, I remember that stuff, man. Little
Tell me
Hobo,
about
Red Green Show.
Yeah, but yeah, going back to bass. What? Yeah, I'm the same. I'll record. I'll have two bass tracks. One, I'll have the whatever amps in, whether it's the Dark Glass or the Duality Bass Studio from Audio Assault or whatever. And then the other one, I'll just use the DI. And what I'll do with that is, I'll do one of two or three different things. Sometimes I'll use the TSE bass audio, not bass, bass overdrive.
Okay.
And then I'll just put a bit of EQ on there. And then what I usually do is I'll put a EQ on there. This is for my own stuff anyway. Put EQ on there for that sort of mid-range, sort of like 400 to 3K.
Yep.
And then I'll put either a chorus or a flange after the EQ, and I'll just put a limiter on, and then I'll bust them both off into a bass bus.
Yeah, your mixes. You know what? I listened to your last song stuff. Your mixes have actually improved like a lot. They're better.
That last song, I'm really proud of that mix.
I really liked
that
the production on that was really good
Yeah.
for your style. Yeah, because you play a different style than me. So sometimes mixes for me are different. Like my new song coming up, and I feel weird talking about it because nobody's hardly heard it. Is that there's actually separate delay and reverb tracks in the background, and there's points where like I actually automate them, push them.
Easy
That's a
target.
British. That is a British joke right there, because so every so often I'm seeing something like, what does this mean? Like I get lost, but it seems like online I seem like I'm hanging out with the British guys more. Actually, one of the people that I hung out with the other night, Lemmy Swayze, she popped by for a little bit too.
Cool.
She's Mick Rockland's friend, and she actually apparently helped Dragon Force with some of their tour stuff as well, and knows them. And yeah, she popped by to hang out for a bit too. I'm assuming she's gone unless she's there and talking. But everybody's like, it's everything gets so British. I'd be like, I don't know what's happening. I feel like I learn a different language coming here a little bit, just a little bit. I like every so often,
just a little bit every now and again. You'll build up, son. You'll build up.
I understand almost everything that's happening, but every so often you'll say something like, "Wait, what was the word he said?" And I kind of was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." I'm like, I know I have. I'm like, wait, I've been told this about myself before too. And me and my buddy John, we would be talking, and a friend of ours from out west was there. We were in school. Like, I can't believe it's been that many years, but we'd be talking. He said he told me like it's not that long ago. He's like, I would hear you two talking. He said, I know what the message was, but I don't know what was said. This is like, did we say something that weird? But I think it was just maybe, I don't know if it was just the way me and him communicate, but I get told, some people say that I have really good English, and other people say, yeah, you got a twang to your voice.
Yeah, well, it's the same coming from even in areas of Yorkshire. We've got different dialect.
Yeah.
So like Little Bro Vapes, Aidan, he's from another part of Yorkshire. So
Yeah.
Even though that's what's about 16-mile difference between where I am and Aidan, there's totally different dialects. But we can sort of we do know what each other's talking about.
Yeah.
But I think he's got a bit of a question there for us.
Oh, let's hold up. I got 4 sets of Mackie tops and bass bins. Like, you mean like trying to run active through passive, or like switching to passive? I don't know how to answer this. Active to passive, Mackie top, bass bin, I don't quite know what's I don't quite get it. 4 sets of Mackie tops. Bass bins? I don't totally understand.
Big Mackie speakers, big Mackie bass bins he's talking
like the
about.
monitors. Yeah. Okay. And one's active, one passive. I mean, does it sound good and translate right? I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if I have a proper answer for this one, because
I've not got an answer for that one either.
I don't have any experience in that one to give a really
me too.
solid answer on it.
Yeah.
anyway.
Like
So
you say, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
yeah, and as long as it's translating over something else, if you're doing mixing and mastering and stuff, yeah, I don't. If I knew the answer, I would gladly answer it. But there's certain things I
Yeah,
don't
but
know. That's why
he's a bit of a singer. He's our little bro. So at some point, me and him are going to do a cover version at some point.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to take a classic British 70s rock song. We haven't decided which one yet, but we're going to do it.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a cover coming up. Just the drummer, I actually had to message him back because he's recording now. So when he's done, I gotta get my arse in gear and record this record this cover. I won't say what it is now.
There we go.
It's a pretty popular song. What's your thoughts on the Defiance?
I think he means difference.
Oh, difference from active. The difference from active to passive. And you mean like one set of speakers is active and passive and you run them at the same time? Again, I don't. Whatever. I guess these monitors are active because they're powered. So
yeah, the studio monitors are active, but I think nearly all guitar cabinets are passive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My guitar cabinet is passive. But I mean, that's kind of the nature of like, using like something like vintage 30s and stuff. And then you're using like these flat response monitors up here. So I'm not an electronics guy in that sense to really answer that correctly. But I mean, rigs. I mean, sure, if it works, man. If it works, it works. I'd say if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if it works, it works. I don't know I just don't have an answer. I just kind of feel bad about that.
I don't think we're much help here, are we?
No. But sometimes we can tell you, like, what food doesn't make you poop as bad as the other one.
Yeah.
But
make sure it's with Skittles.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, I'll try to explain that because I think that came up in a Spice and Easy thing. I was in the chat once, but everybody's like first saying Lisa's like, you say it, both of you guys go maple syrup Skittles. So when Pat and I and Mike were gonna start that video, I remember that day. I was on the verge of burnout. I was pretty close to it. I was like, fuck, I gotta do this video. Like, what do I do? And without thinking too much, I'm like, well, I'll bring it up to the kitchen and I'll pretend I'm on the phone. And the Skittles and maple syrup thing wasn't something I thought about. Like, I was taking the stuff upstairs. I just happened to have Skittles. That's not something I even have that often. And they were there, and I thought, you know what? Just to be a friggin' weirdo. Just to be a weirdo.
Yeah.
I just decided to do it. Just to make people look and go, the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
Just to do things like, okay, so my new video coming up, like I did the exact same thing, but with like font, with like text and video, is that I threw a whole bunch of text in the video, and some of it's like doesn't make any sense. It's just randomly there at random points, just something to make you go, I need to go back and then watch that and pause it to see what waste of time I'm going to read. And I just have, it's just to be eye catching. I just kind of did it just to be like, it was just for fun. Like, the whole idea of the video was just to have fun. So I did that. I wish we could have had like the whole video, like Pat edited that one. And like I had a conversation in that video that it didn't make it to the main one you saw, where I say, no, Pat, I'm eating normal food. I promise. He didn't include it because it probably just was like fluff to him, like when he's editing. But I tried to give that, and that's one of the things that I said, like eating normal food. Like, yeah, it's totally weird. It's not good. It wasn't like, it's not something like you want to eat again. Like, I would never want to do it again. But it's just one of those things. It just makes you look. And it's for fun. It's kind of like just my weird, warped sense of humor.
Oh, it was brilliant, man. It was absolutely brilliant.
It was so fun, though, in the end, like how it actually came together.
Oh, yeah. So what if I'm getting this right, what he's meaning is like on a PA for the back line on stage.
Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah,
do it.
go for it.
If you got the stuff and you're gonna do it,
Yeah,
I
I
think do
mean,
it.
when I were in bands, a lot of the places we played, the venues had their own PA and backline, so we just use
Yeah.
theirs.
My question for you there is there like a thing in the DJ community where it has to be all passive or all active, like some sort of like mindsets like, well, man, I go all active, man. I'm electronic. Like, I'm so electronic, my penis plugs into the wall to charge at night. like a blue plug. And it's like by Pfizer, you know. I wonder, you know what I mean? It's like, or so like these guys like, I'm so old. I was writing electronic before, or like they're so hip that they played electronic before electricity was a thing. And then Thomas Edison had to make EDM. I don't know. Is it Thomas Edison? I don't know. Captain Electricity. That's just refer to whoever invented that. Captain Electricity.
I'll
He's
take
an
your word for that. I
electrified-
don't think we got.
You're a sound engineer. Okay. I don't know because like there's certain things. So like there's people out there like so if you ever dive into the camera world, the same kind of people exist in a weird thing. Like kind of like I was referencing. Like I just don't know the culture around being like other EDM producers. Like I understand the guitar culture. There's people who are like tube amps only. Fuck your digital shit. Then there's people who are like plug into the wave. There's people who like only acoustic drums. There's people who like no samples work. And so I don't know the culture, but like camera culture is the same way. Like you get into the photography thing. There's people who would only want to do film. There's people who are like only Sony. Like a lot of the same mindsets go across the board.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like you say, some people will only play valve amps, but I've got valve amps. I've got hybrid amps. I've got solid state amps, and to me, they've all got their own sound. They all sound good in their own way.
Yep, exactly. You know what I think is an awesome amp is a Boss Katana.
Oh yeah,
like my neighbor has one, and it's like you could play it live. Nobody knows the difference.
No problem. Yeah,
Nobody
you
cares.
get one of those little sort of Katana 100 or even 50-watt amp heads, and plug that into a Harley Benton 2x12. You set.
Yeah, I got the Harley Benton 2x12 here. One of the. I mean, I've played Mesa cabs, I've played Avatar, played Orange, Engel. Dude, I just want volume in this case. I bought it just to jam with people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And one of the things is it still has Celestion vintage 30s.
Yeah.
Then there's other people go, well, everybody uses vintage 30s. Well, you need to have something else. And you hear like I see some like younger guys coming up, like, and they'll fall for all stuff saying like, well, everybody's using them, all sound the same. Why do you care? Does it work for you?
There's a reason why everybody's using a vintage 30 with an SM57, because it works and it sounds good.
And I mean, like, if now I might say something, I would say something different. If you want to try different speakers, like by all means, there's some other amazing speakers.
Oh yeah,
like, and some Marshall cabs, they have other ones, and it sounds fine. Like it's fine. I still think this Harley Benton cab though, compared to my PV Valve King with like the Kemper and this, like this has actual speakers. It's just an overall it's just better.
Yeah.
And
well, I've got the 1x12 version. One day I will upgrade to the 2x12, but yeah.
If you're tall, just buy the vertical.
Yeah, that's the one I want, the vertical.
I got that, and just before this pandemic started, I got that over here, and even with the import, it worked.
Oh.
Like it was worth it. Sorry, I sometimes say things and it's just like a bunch of words.
Yeah. Are you okay if we get another guest on?
What, tonight? Right now?
Yeah, Aidan wants to come in.
Yeah, give her.
Cool. Just give me a second. I'll send him the link.
Yeah, I'm good here for a little bit. I'll probably, if we're here like another 40 minutes, I'll probably end up cutting it. So I need to sleep.
Yeah,
tonight.
No problem, mate. No problem.
But man, I'm having so much fun just hanging out. Man, this is great. It's nice to do these chill things, no real plans. Somebody's like, well, what's the plan? I'm like, I don't know. I even said in my Instagram story, it's like
just chilling.
I just said in my Instagram story, it's like, well, there's me in videos, but there's like conversations with me. If you know me, you can go anywhere and all over the place. Yeah, that'd be totally cool. And
Yeah, I've sent you the link, Aidan.
and you guys know how this works. So
Easy, yeah.
Hey,
What's going
buddy,
on,
how are
man?
you?
All right, bro. How we doing? This is Aidan,
Awesome.
Little Bro Vapes.
Bower,
Hey,
really
what's
nice
up?
to meet you, brother. How are you?
hey, nice to meet you, man. Doing good, man. You're over in England as well, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. We quite like being here.
Yeah, right on, man. I like that your little background set up there. It looks nice.
I'm more into like the vaping sort of scene now.
Yeah.
So
You can tell he's a proper YouTuber. He's got LEDs in the background.
Yeah, he's got LEDs. Yeah, see, my main YouTube screen. This is if I'm doing like a reaction video or something, but it's always like a little thing in the corner. But you have like a pro setup there. My setup, like I'm actually facing the one that is in a lot of my videos now. Still in the works. I'm not good at design in this sense, so
well, a lot of it's to do with the lighting. It takes so long to get that lighting quite right. It's an absolute nightmare. Thank you. I just want to say thank you very much for letting me come into your actual conversation, which is
any time, pal.
From coming into somebody who mixes the sort of stuff that you put out. I come back from 20 odd years of being in a band that did like, up and down Europe and up and down the country. So what you're talking about is the back line of what you're actually getting. So there's so many different sounds. And like you were talking about different mics from your SM57s to your SM58s, all sorts of different sounds, including when you do on a drum kit as well. I sit down there and have to mix a drum kit as well.
Mm-hmm.
So from the back line going out on the front line, my actual question was, what's your thoughts now with the amount of stuff that's coming out on the active apart from passive? Because there's a lot of people who are like purists, such as yourself, of like the guitarist people, who do not like the active as your front set of speakers, where they'd rather have the passive, where you've got an amp rack and you sat down there and you got that, and then now you've got such great stuff. And I think that's actually weird for the people. I can't remember the name. It begins with an A, I think, where they absolutely hate it. Asshole. But us as people, I think the more of the active stuff on the front side helps a lot of you on the outside.
No, I don't mind either way. I mean, it's been a while since I've played live, but whatever works for me.
So I've done both in this sense. So I was talking about the 100 watt PV amp. I used to have a Valve King, probably like the first generation Valve King. I guess they still make them. I've sold that amp 10 years ago and I don't miss it. But I've played, I mean, anytime I played years ago, everything was like, a passive amp or something. Now they might have a PA system where like you mic it and it goes into the board and then it goes out to something else, but it's still coming from the amp. But with the Kemper, I've played with. So do you know what I mean by Kemper? They're Aiden. Okay.
Yeah.
So that goes out the back. Now I can turn with this piece, with mine anyway. I have a powered one. They're not all powered. I can run it through a passive cab, and I love that in the room. When I record, though, I'm running through just the interface. The last time I played a show, I just took the Kemper, plugged it into a mixer, and it went out through the active PA because it was a path.
So the thing with that is absolutely fine, but you're not going to get that sound from your amp.
Through
the actual thing that's coming out of your amp, the front of it. So if you're going to do that and take it out the back, you're not going to be able to get that same sound. Like you sit down there with a Marshall, or you sat down there with something that's really nice. The sound that's coming outside of your actual amp, you're not going to get that because that's going straight from your amp straight to a desk.
Yeah,
and that's the difference between miking an amp up and taking it to your desk from miking an amp up from the back and taking it out as a plugin.
But you know what? But keep in mind here too that I recorded the songs, not mic them or stuff up. I go direct in the same way. So if you get everything, you don't want to mix it or something afterwards.
Yeah,
same sound. Because the PAs should be flat, although it might not be. It might mess with it a bit, but it sounds relatively almost the same.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. If
And
you're
it's
going
fine.
into something like Cubase or something like that, then you can do anything that you want to do, change whatever sound you wanted to do it. I'm on about live. So when you're playing it live, the whole thing. What sort of guitarist are you?
I play a lot of rock and metal kind of stuff.
Yeah, what type of guitarist? Are you bass or lead or you?
Oh, I mean, I'm anything.
Anything. So you know yourself. Just say you sit down there playing a lead, and you're using your pedals for what you need to do. Now, pedals I have no clue to, but mixing them I'm pretty good at. So putting that in front of your actual amp at the back line makes a total difference. You actually sending it straight through to a mixing desk.
Yeah, the great thing about the Kemper is it's consistent every time, though, because if you're taking all your effects from there, you go to the next PA, it still works. It's going to be a little bit different when you're miking things because mic placement's going to change shit up too. And if somebody mics something different, that's a whole different thing. You start getting a tube amps, and then tubes start, wearing out. That's going to start changing things up. But the great thing with the Kemper and like the Axe effects and these things is that you show up and it's consistent and it's not hard to tour with. It's less maintenance. A lot of bands these days are going straight to the board right out. And it's like,
dude, if you look at half the vocalists, they're going through a fucking voice transformer as well.
Yeah, they are.
Exactly.
Do you know that raw sound that you could get, which I've been very lucky to be a part of a band. When you sit down there and you're going straight, you mic everything up, you ain't gonna get any better. No. I've had better recordings from that when I've been in a recording studio.
Yeah, but
and yeah, half the vocalists these days are even singing the fucking miming.
God, mate, you know half that stuff. You can hear it, that electronic thing behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think when you throw in something, you start throwing in like the older technology and doing things. Yeah, there's going to be sometimes inconsistency going through certain things. Your audience doesn't necessarily notice, but sometimes it's when you have those kind of combinations of the old technology mic'd up. So all of a sudden, you just happen to nail it right. And you got it right. It's like a magic to it too. Sometimes like maybe the inconsistency is not a bad thing, but with this, if you're running with the Kemper and you're doing things and you're just playing through like, into a mixer, because I've done it, you run into a mixer through a PA, you're using the same cabinet IR, that generally speaking is already going to translate over. It's fine. People, they don't know the difference, and it works. But
again, it all depends what sort of venue you're actually playing. If you're sat down there playing in a pub, or you're to like 300 people, if you sat down there anything a little bit higher, then it does need to be mix a difference. Now, the actual question that I was trying to put across was on the front line of it. Now, there's a lot of people that do not like active speakers now. They still want to go back where you've got amps sat in a rack and you have to pick them up and take them all the way in. And I went probably about 2006, 2008. I went to Mackie's. Now, Mackie's, the first generation came from Italy. They didn't actually come from China. Now, your version 2s and your version whatever else after that, and they came out with Mackie Thumps. They changed it. They changed it to cheap China parts, where the Italian ones, which were version 1, were really, really good. And I've still got these speakers now. I've got 4 sets of them, including the bass bins. Now, I think the tops are 450. Will run at maximum of 1,000, and then the bass bins are 650. Run a maximum of 1,000 as well. No, in fact, the 650 run a maximum of 1,000 something. Now I've had these for a lot of years, and they've worked so well. Now, a lot of people said to me, no, you still can't beat getting a set of EV amps. That's what we used to have. Decent. You wouldn't know the actual make that I'd tell you, but they were called Turbo Maxes.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know the speakers. They were called Turbo Max. They were actually from a place where Lee is, which is Barnsley. He was from.
I remember them.
Yeah, he was from Smart RC Maiden.
Yeah.
But the actual amps that we used to there, we had a 2,000 amp for the tops, and then we had a 3,000 amp for the bottoms. What's your thoughts on the outside bit of it? Because you as a guitarist, you always think about your back line. What's your thought of the outside? Do you think, fuck it, it's nothing to do with me, I'm just playing? Or
I'd say, well, I hope the sound engineer is fine. is fine, but venues, I guess it's like you said, it's going to be all over the place. I'd say likely, fuck it, you're going to get what you're going to get in a sense, because there's not much you're going to be able to change going in, especially if you're like, some little known band, like you don't have sway over that. You got to almost, in some senses, I guess, take that. I might be wrong in
So
saying that.
you don't take your actual PA. You're going
No,
there.
we
I
never
don't
had we never had a
never had
PA. We just use the in-house PA and sound
I never
engineer.
had my own
You're
PA.
fucking. I'll tell you what, you're unlucky there, because half the in-house PAs are absolutely fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You know
Although,
what?
I don't know if you've heard of the pub in Sheffield. It's not called this anymore. The Hallamshire.
Peacock.
No, Hallamshire. That were a decent PA, and he were a decent sound engineer.
I've never turned up to anywhere where I ain't got my own PA. Ever in my entire life.
We were never lucky enough to have the money for a PA.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just more gear to lug. I'm pretty sure my neighbor, though, his band, when I helped him, I'm pretty sure they had their own PA they brought in, because I think that the venue I helped them at when they were a band, no, they had them, but they had their own. I forget what happened there.
We talked about the difference before. Like you sitting down there and you've got lads who play at the Horcross, as you know that place. So you're getting £80 and your beer. So you're playing your original stuff. I'm sat down there playing people's other stuff, and I'm getting paid £800, £900 because it's a show, and that's the difference of what you carry your own PA.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's bands that would do that, but I mean, it depends, I guess, the venue we're talking about here too. I can think of a couple of venues that don't sound good at all ever. Some of them, the rooms just suck for it. Some people hate, like, they're a big one, the Metro Center. Forum, I think, is a gamble. Gus's Pub, that's a dive bar. There's even like a pillar in the middle of the freaking floor where the crowd is. It's so bad.
I've played at places where they've got screens.
I've played at places where they've had strippers.
I've played, honestly, I have done it. We've done it as strippers years and years ago. We've actually changed in the same place as them. There's tits all over the place, and that was just the drummer. Looked a bit like Simo.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat. How you doing, Paul? I don't know about sober. I'm on my third.
I drank a coffee, Pat, but yeah, no, we're just hanging out and doing our thing for a little bit longer anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played a show in forever, but man, to have something that can just plug into the PA was just like, man, it's just no fight to get a tone. One of the worst things, I played a show years ago. Trust me, it wasn't any high quality show for me. They took the I don't know why, but for some reason they wanted the monitors. There was like this little pub, and they wanted the monitors flipped around the other way, so I couldn't hear myself. Keep in mind, this is like a long time ago, and I didn't know what I was doing. My sound wasn't going towards me. It was like I sounded like I was out in the crowd. It was awful. Because
so
you need to hear.
Why would you want to do that?
It wasn't.
You want to hear the sound?
It wasn't planned. It wasn't like it was that bad, but it was like, it was just, yeah. It was one of those experiences that, I mean, I would totally change it up. Like, I need to hear something coming either from behind me, something aiming at me. I think the next time I played there, I'm like, no, a monitor's going this way, and it never wasn't a problem.
I was
young.
I never sang with any monitors. They were on stage. I never sang with any monitors. The reason why I could hear it outside, and I knew exactly, for the years that you've been singing, exactly what I sound right. I knew that I'd done it. I've gone outside. I found only time I ever went to the monitors was if I sung a ballad. So if I needed something really close to my mic and I wasn't actually gruffing it and I wasn't actually pushing it, then that's why I went to the monitors. I never needed monitors. I could hear it from what were coming out by the monitors at the side, but I was never one of these singers that had a monitor in front of them or a monitor at the side. I used to move around for what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these stages were small too. So It
Oh, mate,
didn't,
you see that, mate? I did the Roundhouse. You ever heard the Roundhouse?
I don't know what that is.
That's in Germany. That's in Bergen-Belsen. You know where the actual concentration camp is.
Okay.
So I played Bergen-Belsen, and this has got the most biggest acoustics you ever had. So if you play anything massively loud, it's just smashing it and coming back to you. That's all you've got. So we're sat down here, and I've done thinking I could do exactly the same. We've done the sound check. I've made sure it's not bouncing back too much, but then we've got the people filling it. So I've gone out and we did a Blues Brothers number straight away. I think it was Shake Your Tail Feather or something like that. Came out. This is like smashed the back wall, and I'm still singing and thinking, why can I hear like 2 verses before?
Yeah.
And it was because of that, and that's probably one of the only times I had to turn it all up to sit on this side. There's about 1,000 people there to turn it towards me and turn it massively up, because if not, I would not have been able to do it. I couldn't sing.
Yeah, just that,
You know,
that sort of natural reverb.
Yeah, it's banging against it.
Here's one that some bands, though, all these bands now, a lot of them, everything's like direct into the board and all that stuff you're saying. But back like years ago, it was all about having like that back line of amps and cabs.
Yeah.
And when you're up by the stage, you know, you should be feeling and hearing that thump, feeling that on you. But then everybody went to, you know, all the like the digital hardware. So everything was to the board. So you get this perfect sound. So it sounds great out in the middle, but everybody close to the stage isn't feeling anything. And part of the show to me is like feeling something.
Yeah,
what they end up having to do,
you've got to feel that air moving from the guitar and the
you-
bass amps.
You can't replace the experience of having an actual set of speakers there on the stage.
No, you can't. No, and I think that was a little bit more that I was trying to say to you, and especially if you mic that up.
Yeah.
If you mic that up, and I've sat down there and I mic a full drum kit up, and I'm sat down there and putting a full back line, and if you mic that properly, and they're going to get that feel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Listen to it in points where I can't hear fuck all. You'd especially got a drummer, a drummer and a bass player who will love their own fucking sound. You know what I mean? In the front of it, you know what they're like. Mate, you can't get better mic'd up in the front, a decent set of equipment, and you lot playing. I don't play any instrument. I sit down there and got the triangle, ding. But I'm a front man. That's what I do. That's what I've always been, a singer. And I just think you lot are absolutely amazing what you do. But if it's mic'd up and done properly, the experience that other people are going to get, because the thing is, I don't care whether you're in the middle or the back, or whether you can feel what you're doing.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's like Brian said, people in the audience are missing that experience these days with everybody using Kempers and Axe effects compared to using real amps and having that real cab.
Oh yeah, well, you're miking
having that speaker move the air.
Mate, I've sat down there and watched guitar solos.
Yeah,
they might have been shitty songs, but the guitar solos that a lot of commercial people will watch, and they love it. You can sit down there, and I'm watching this being played, and they're playing every single thing in there. You're watching a drummer sit down there doing a drum solo. They're listening to that bang bang on the hi-hat. It's there. I think that makes a difference.
Yeah,
absolutely does.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes it just depends on the type of show you're playing, but like I think that in the sense like you need that good
live.
And another thing too is that if I'm playing live too, if I'm playing a show, like not just some like little thing, few things. It's been so long since I've been able to do this. I really want to get back to it. I want to feel it too as a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to feel that too, because I want to feel the energy. I'm there too. I don't want to be just playing like a robot and do that. So I'm just seeing some stuff. More and more bands don't even bring amps on stage anymore. Yeah. They just have concert goers with wireless head. Yeah. Okay. Those kind of concerts sounds terrible, Pat. I never want to do that. And some things unpolished sound great. Like we were saying earlier about the death stuff. You don't need it to be polished. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, don't mention death. He don't like death metal, does Aiden?
I don't mind. It's just not my type of music. You listen to me. I go from classical all the way up to anything that's coming out. But
I got a question for you. Eurobeat. What do you think of Eurobeat?
Eurobeat. Now, obviously, it's not a brand new thing. Eurobeat. If you go back to like the early '90s, Eurobeat were coming out here. You know, obviously from Germany. Again, Czechoslovakia, I think, had quite a number of massive Euro. I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem with hard house. I've got no problem with techno. How old are you?
Big box, little box.
I'm 33.
Yeah, I'm 42. So.
Okay.
Fucking hell, I feel
We're
old now.
around about the same age. So that sort of stuff was what I grew up with.
You're Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. The trouble is, he's a lot slimmer than me.
Hey, everybody!
I don't know. I've only
days.
seen like this little bit of your body. I've seen like this. Who knows? Like I could be like this big underneath. You don't know.
Mate, I'm a midget. I'm only 3 foot tall.
Maybe I'm only this part of my body. I don't know. Maybe I haven't grown the rest of it yet.
You got little legs going off like that.
Yeah, who knows? You know.
Munchkins.
It's like, but don't worry, I've got this huge freaking penis. It's like 3 feet long.
Yeah,
And these
he's
little
got
legs, he's like
that.
dragging it behind you.
He's got
like
two
a garden
legs going
hose.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's
it's like a
got
big
cock
garden
like
hose
that.
behind you. Yeah, it's such a weird.
Lisa. If
Oh
it's not
man,
Lisa, we'll get Darth involved, Sonny. He'd be quite like that.
no.
Oh, Darth's gone to bed already.
One of the genres that I've picked up on, like when you spend a lot of years listening to metal, this Sweet Perpetuity, this, that, you know, it gets boring. You don't care after a while. It's like it doesn't matter, and it takes a lot. I still like the music, but synthwave is something that I've found I really like listening to. It's this new genre of things, and I enjoy it. There's like it's just, I don't know, maybe a softer sound, but it's an interesting sound. It's not just pop music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I sit down there obviously as a DJ, so which I haven't done for a year because obviously we've been on lockdown. But a lot of the music I listen to, there's certain things that actually I quite like that. That's okay. There's certain stuff that other people like, and I play it because it's popular and it fits in, or you can move it into this way, and I maybe not like it. I come from a massive background, and my mum and dad like Lonnie Donegan, and they like country and western. My brother liked the Beatles and Stones. I liked country and western, and I also liked loads of different genres in my life. So they always sit where I'm from. Rock, metal. I even like a bit of metal as long as I had a baby and I had no teeth, screaming and shouting down a fucking microphone. It's not what I'm like, but.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I'm saying my dad's big into his rock and roll, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, all that. I mean, I love listening to the Doors. Some early.
Oh, he needs
a wee.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of early Door. Well, all at Door stuff. Little bit of Who, the Kinks, into the 70s where you got sort of like Status Quo and things like that, the Sweet, and then you move into AC/DC, Motörhead, Maiden, and then all into the heavier stuff.
Yeah, I grew up on a lot of like Beatles and stuff because my parents played that, and Black Sabbath was one.
Sabbath.
Paranoid
well, you know, I'm a big Sabbath fan.
Oh yeah. I mean, how could you not be?
Absolutely. I mean,
I think.
I think you can tell with a lot of my music that the Sabbath and Iommi is a big influence on my style of writing.
Exactly, and man,
I make no apologies for it.
That's the band. I mean, that kind of like got me into it as a kid. I learned it from the vinyl, and but yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying, Pat. But it's cringe.
Yeah.
I don't know what the younger generation will think, but that's a cringy thought. Yeah, but for me, it was Sabbath to get into that. But one of the things I think that I was always looking for in metal is that everything was. I remember like the extreme metal for the most part when I was younger, like the kids liked. It was always death metal, and I didn't want to hear the death scream. I didn't want to hear that this Cookie Monster stuff. And when I heard Hammerfall and Dragon Force, I'm like, wait, there's bands that do this and sing awesome, and I was sold because they sang.
That's what I liked about Fear Factory. he did that growly stuff, but he could sing as well.
Oh, Fear Factory's awesome. At least some of it is like Shock, like that song.
Yeah. That
You
is
know-
an awesome song. That
When I was younger, Fear Factory wasn't a band. I think I did hear some. You guys remember stickdeath.com?
no,
There used to be a site where this guy, and it didn't age well because we tried to watch it again not too long ago. There's like all these like stick animations, like flash animations. There was games,
Yeah.
and they would die. And he put in metal songs. Like I know one of the songs, and they were Shock, so I know I heard it, but I didn't really know it. But Fear Factory was sick. But how I actually got into them was actually the Christian Old Wobbler stuff. The first song I heard was Archetype, and that's
Yeah.
still that. I don't think that
Still
band
good
really.
song,
I don't think that band really likes to talk about that era.
no,
But because Gino Caceres, I think that's how you say it, is kind of like the main
yeah,
guy there, and he was kind of like
it's
that.
his baby.
That band didn't really get along, I guess. And then of course they reformed without him. But Archetype, I saw one video of Dino actually playing the song Archetype, but man, like that was cool. Like I liked that. I still think the song Archetype is killer. And there was Transgression was another one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was a Christian Old Wobblers one as well. But I mean, like you hear the stuff like Shock. What's the song I'm thinking of? Resurrection. That's such a cool song.
well, as DW said, I mean, I've been into Fear Factory since the beginning, since All of a New Machine came out. In fact, my mate went to see him on the first UK tour, and they were absolutely killer live. And he did the clean and the growly vocals live as well.
Yeah. I know like that band is actually coming up with new music, eh?
Well, so
With all new
a lot of people like similar like Slipknot and stuff like that. Obviously, they came more commercial. Talking about also the god of Drogba.
Oh, Lamb of God.
Again, this sort of like it's not my type of music. Slipknot I quite enjoyed.
What is Dogaba? I don't know that.
No, I don't know, Dogger, but I know Lamb of God.
But
Like
no,
that.
we're not my type of thing. Your girl thing. A lot of my stuff was the blues.
Hey, there's nothing wrong.
I
with
love
blues.
listening to blues.
I like a lot of rock and roll, man. So
Rock and roll, the blues, and I come from that. And obviously, a lot of this music. If you look at music, a lot of music comes from jazz.
Jazz and blues.
You spiral in the way it is.
I mean, I love nothing more than listening to a bit of Rory Gallagher. Absolutely fantastic blues guitar player.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Yeah, he died a few years back. Yeah,
blues song I learned on guitar in the last year and some was actually "Last Goodbye" by Kenny Wayne Shepherd, like a big American guy. Man, Kenny Wayne is awesome. Kind of got into listening to that stuff, and obviously everybody knew "Blue and Black." That was a big song for Kenny Wayne.
more beer,
Shepherd.
please. More
But,
beer, please. We run out of beer.
Bowie, you know the thing is about music is my family was full of it. They came from Wales in 1900 and moved up to Doncaster because that's where the work was. But they were all a part of the theatrical sort of music. But they sang the songs of the day. And
Yep.
my brother and me, my brother is solo. He's also a reviewer, but he's a massively talented musician. Now, Mark can play from keyboard, piccolo, guitar. He builds his own, like a cigar box.
Yeah,
Actual stuff. My brother is just like massively talented, and he can sing as well. I was like sort of like the front man of the vocalist. We've never actually done it together, but
yeah.
the whole family's always been like that, and we were so lucky with the genres that we was brought up with of music. My brother always had the Stones. He always had the Beatles. Beatles is famous, the one that he's always had. The Beatles. We sat down there with the Who, that sort of chunky music.
Yeah.
Then we had the blues, B.B. King, Otis Redding, these sort of people that you came up from, and these are the music that's always gone through to my soul. You know, when you hear something.
Mhm.
And I don't care whether it's death metal or whatever else, if that gives you that little bit of a tingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does, doesn't it? It gives you that little bit of a tingle.
Last Goodbye by Kenny Wayne Shepherd did that for me. And it's just I don't know, it was something about that song. Like, yes, that's the sound I like. It's like, or a sound I do like. My
There you go, Simone. It's the weenie beer.
One? Weenie beer. It's side effects include your dick shrinks when you drink it.
No, that's cocaine. If the biggest thing, I was like a Beautiful South fan. I was also which was the band before it. What am I thinking of? Beautiful South. It was Alex Martins, that sort of stuff. And I was also into Happy Mondays, Stone Roses, that sort of music as well, which are a little bit more Brit poppy. I love that sort of stuff. But again, you can't feel anything more than a Johnny Cash sitting down there with Hurt. What a song with Hurt.
That was Johnny Cash was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, agreed. It's been so long since I listened to Johnny Cash though. I used to really like him.
Bauer, did you watch that? Am I saying your name right?
It's Brian.
Yeah, Brian Bauer. Yeah.
Bauer. So Brian, we sat down there. Have you watched Hurt?
No, I've not watched.
Right, good. Johnny Cash. I'll tell you what, after you've done this, mate, and this is just from me to a friend, go and watch Hurt by Johnny Cash and watch the actual video. It's just
I know the song. I don't know if I've seen the video. That's the thing.
Oh, mate, he sat down with his wife. He's going through all the stuff he's done, and he sat down there after he's had his stroke. And I know it sounds proper downhearted, but the entire song is just amazing. It's just
when he recorded that album, he was really ill in the studio recording that album. I mean, there's stories of Tom Petty did a couple of tracks with him.
I love Tom Petty, man.
What others? There were quite a number of big musicians from 60s and 70s recorded that album with him, and they all said how we recorded that album, they'll never know.
Have you seen what's happened to The House?
No.
Right, go again on YouTube and go look at The House. They've trashed The House.
Really?
Yeah, The House has been trashed.
Huh. Okay.
You've gone in there, like you get these urban explorers, they're going to trash The House.
Yeah.
No, that's just wrong.
All right. Here's one, since we've been bringing up names. Warren Zevon. You guys ever listen to that guy? He has some amazing music out.
Never heard of him.
I thought you were on I thought you made YouTube.
Oh, no, not YouTube. He's a musician.
I'm joking.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with accents here a little bit. And it's sometimes I'm like, what's being said right now? It's my ears trying to adjust. Like, I'm pretty adjusted to Lee. So every time you say something, I'm just like, wait, what did you say?
He sat down there from the common Yorkshire. I'm sat here with a little bit more panache.
We all then Jock in Doncaster.
Oh man,
we'll get Simo on and nobody will be able to understand us.
Oh no, that's even worse if you get Simo on.
I'm just reading comments here before I take off, which will be soon enough. But man, we've been here for over 3 hours, man. I don't know how it flies by so fast, but it does.
Man. But when you're getting older and having fun, doesn't it, Aidan?
Oh, thank you so much for letting me on, mate. As well, with you.
Anytime, you're welcome here anytime.
I didn't even know like who you were. He's like he's like, that's this guy. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't care. Go for it. But, I'll tell a quick story. Man, like at first I felt like I was being grilled a little bit, but I was like trying to figure out, like trying to wrap my head around the question, like. The communication there is a little bit like sometimes it's a bit tough. It's like, what's going on? But now I understand what's up. And we had a good conversation out of this, and it was fun.
I didn't want to come on that way and make you feel that way. Is obviously if you've got somebody else who's a muso who's from a different country, and there's a lot of it, and I can't remember that. I will remember this next time we come on. There's certain people who do not like active speakers to passive speakers, and there's a lot of it's like sitting down there with Lee. If you're recording stuff, there's a total different stuff of playing live.
Yeah. So there's actually a debate like this too, that me and Lee, I think we kind of touched on this earlier. But you know how you were going active to passive? Well, there's also active guitar pickups and passive guitar pickups, and there's a debate on that one too. What's better?
Yeah.
So
You never masturbate on that one.
Active pickups. They've been a big thing. Metallica used them for years. They're one of the most popular pickups out there you can get, especially in metal. But for a long time, I didn't like them. I still prefer passives, but then I played a few guitars with these active ones in it, and they were awesome. And it's just like, okay, but I still like the feel of the passives, but sometimes the actives just happen to work for a certain sound.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Lee, what's these people that I'm talking about? There's actually not an agoraphobe. There's something to do with music.
Audiophile.
That's the one.
Yeah.
What they're called?
Sorry, I'm tired too. I've been up like what
they called again?
Audiophile.
Audiophile. So you get these set of people who do not like anything to do with the active speakers.
Yeah.
So obviously these are a lot of people that sit, and this was my thing with you, and please don't make me to be horrible to you or anything. I don't mean that. So you get a lot of people who sit at home, who sit there and have their the little setup there and play the music. But if you're sat down there in front of a lot of people and you're having to pick amp racks up and pick them up and go stupid mounts of stairs to try and set it all up so you can play your guitars and all this stuff, where now the active stuff, where the actual amps, obviously you know yourself, are in the speakers. And you can mix these all together. So you might have, say, a 2000 amp for your bass bin, and you might have 2 450s, which, again, your peaks are different, but you're not matching the ohms. You don't have to do anything to do with that. You can just plug them in, bang, and you're off. If that sounds just as good as sitting down there with loads of amp racks that you've got to pick up and pull up and down stairs, this was my sort of thing. It's fair enough for people who are playing in the bedrooms, but it's different if you're going out gigging.
It is. I mean, I've been saying about umping 100-watt bloody guitar heads and 4x12 fucking speakers up flights of stairs.
Yeah, but I would never change any of you taking your back line out of there, because that's your sound.
Yeah.
Coming out, sitting down there, wherever, because I've known loads of different, from bass players to guitarists to anybody on a back line. They have a different feel to it. It's how they play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit like, you know, like somebody might have a different set of strings on a tennis racket because how they want to play. I'm not saying that it's the same with the strings, but what I mean is that certain people have a different play.
Yeah. Every guitar player plays differently.
Mm-hmm.
You could have the same guitar player play his own guitar, and you could say, take me, Brian, Pat, Deaf World, and you could put us through the same amp and the same speaker, but we're all sound different.
Yep. I've learned all those things. Don't try to chase somebody else's tone. You're probably never going to get it.
Exactly.
So it's like that. You were saying, well, you should give a flat sound. Well, it doesn't always work like that, because when plenty of guitarists that I've sat there and worked with, they're not asking me for a flat sound. Yeah. They're asking me to give take a little bit off the 120, bring it into a little bit of the mid, take a bit of the top off, and they want me to move it around for how they play.
I only say the flat sound, so like, you know, it's just in the
like
sense that you can like mold it with something else. I don't mean like that speaker's like, no, just flatten everything they have out. Oh no, I didn't mean that.
No, no. The thing about it is there is a lot of guitarists who just want it flat. You're not lying what you're saying. Everything they want it flat. They don't want to do anything. I just put it in there. They sit their guitar on it, and I put there, and they want it flat. But then there's other ones who go, I want a little bit of top took off. I want 120 took off of here. I want this done on here. I want that how it runs.
Oh yeah.
Guitarists, bass players, and drummers are absolute awkward bastards all the way fucking through.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're picky. I don't like this type of guitar because of this and that. Oh, I'm like that. I can be like that. I don't like playing certain things.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. I have sat down there 25, 35 minutes trying to get a drummer for an hi-hat. It sounds like it. As long as it sounds all right, bro, it's not overly loud. I've mixed that. The bass is sat down there. Everything's fine. You're okay. It's not what I want to sound like. He comes outside and asks somebody else to fucking hit the fucking thing. Dude, we sat down here in the Working Men's Club in Sheffield. We don't give a shit. They ain't got a clue whether that sounds any fucking different. No. I'm not doing this all day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Some people can be too finicky.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, like there's certain things, like there's certain tones don't work for you and stuff. But yeah, guitar players are picky as fuck.
Bass players are the fucking weirdest.
Oh,
yeah. Imagine it'd help if they change the fucking strings.
Bass players
I'll pick my I should pick my bass up, and then I'll get extra weird.
You're weird enough as it is, Brian.
It's true. I better keep the bass away for the night.
Bass players as well are always paranoid that they're not loud enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a good bass player though. Not the bad ones, the good ones.
Mate, I don't want to sit down like with fucking somebody doing a didgeridoo. I want you to fucking build in. The whole point of it is that you all come together.
Well, that's it.
It's like going ping pong pong.
Yeah, it's like when you're mixing it. It's like when you mix, like when we're mixing songs. It's not like, oh, we've got to hear every individual thing. It's everything's got to sit together nicely.
Bauer, what's the actual what should be a bass player? What's his whole point there being?
What, of being a bass player? Shutting the fuck up and staying out of the way.
He's my boy.
No, and all realistically, like certain bands, it's kind of you just adding like the root note low end. Other bands, they're a performer. Like I've seen bands like Augury and Rush and stuff. They have incredible bass players. They're sometimes like I watched Forrest like with Augury. He used to be in Beyond Creation music. You don't like like really extreme death metal, but like technical death metal. You can literally watch Forrest do a whole show. They're adding a whole new element to the music. There's the guitars. They have their own whole niche in there, and it's just something else.
Sat down there, right? So you cut everything out from what happened and just left him do it. Then what would happen?
I mean, it's a whole band.
Exactly. The thing is, he's supposed to sit down there. I agree with you doing. You get a lot of people going, he did a fucking amazing bass. But the thing about it is, if he doesn't sit back and he doesn't hold it back and we all sit down and we all fit in together, it's not going to fucking sound as good as you sitting down there playing as a fucking guitar solo.
You're talking, okay, you're talking about like it's like this bass player, but guitar players need to learn that too. This isn't just a bass player thing. Every member of the band, like you don't have going all the time is too much. You don't need to play guitar solos every damn second. If a guitar solo is not,
so how do you mix that then?
How do you mix? Oh my god!
This is where I come from.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I talk to you, I sit
down there, go, then you've got Stevie G going. So how do I mix it?
And you're gonna have to mix it in a way where they all cut through the mix.
Yeah,
it's like the bass is. It's like that's how it's gonna have to be done. I don't know.
Filter your drums about 35 hertz, bass about 65 hertz.
Yeah.
Guitar about 85 hertz.
It's like maybe cut some of the low end off that guitar, let the bass cut through, and let the guitar own the mid range. If the guitar
okay, no, that's wonderful. That's set of a lot of people who sit down there not thinking what you've got to mix. So where do you actually put then the actual faders of actual volume?
I don't know where all their stuff is.
Exactly. It's going 35 hertz, 45, 9, 43. Mate, I'll tell you what, you might as well.
The sound guy. You know why some bands hire a sound guy? So the sound guy deals with it and gets the sound they want.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you can't afford a sound guy, the fucking bloke at the front does it all. And that's where it comes from. You start going, hurts from this side, hurts from that side. It doesn't work that way. Because what you've got to do is now you've got to actually set who's going to play in what point.
Yeah.
You imagine halfway through your show, you've actually sit down there, got to walk past because you're actually the front. You're actually the front man. Mm-hmm. So we know there's actually, I don't know, get Bon Jovi Living on a Prayer. You sit down there and you've actually got a full fucking go for it. So you've now got to go from your bass player, you pull that down. you've already gone dun 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 dun, and then so then you've got to bring that up and then bring that down. So that's what you've got to do. But you all need to. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Live,
Okay.
live,
Yeah.
Live and
You also got to do it for the room too. You got to do it for that room. It's not going to be the same every night, every different.
Of course,
thing,
it
but,
isn't. It was quite nice when we had a yummy. We had a yummy, which was like going back to '98. So it was quite nice, like because you had like presets. That was quite nice. So you used to press it, and then the actual faders used to move, and then that broke. So I got a cheaper desk in Germany. You know, you're on about like Germany. You're on about like the biggest guitar place ever. Which is and also music store there's one in New Orleans and then the other one is actually in Germany.
Yeah, I think that's
Farrenbostel
in Germany.
It's Farrenbostel, somewhere near Farrenbostel. We went there to get a new desk when we toured it.
What did you say? Farrenboss. What?
Farrenbostel is called. I think it's Farrenbostel. So it's that is the second biggest music store in the world. So you had like the top, then you had a mid, and then it went underground.
Jesus, I want to go there.
Yep.
That were 2001. I went there.
Well, if you go there, tell them you know Mr. Crew.
Mr. Crew, yeah. Oh, that's a funny joke.
Your name? Are you Mr. Crew? I don't know.
Yeah, I am Crew. But the thing about it is, all on the back of their shirts, they have Crew. So the thing about Germany,
Crew?
Yeah, crew, like the crew. They thought it were absolutely amazingly funny. Germans don't have the greatest sense of humor. If you're watching, I'm so sorry, but they're not.
Nobody watches this channel.
Canadians are sorry. You're nice. Like I'm sorry. He's like, no, Canadians like I'm sorry, man. You're just like I'm not sorry. I don't give a shit. That's what you should say.
Well, no, what we sat down there. And we had to. We'd done a gig with a band from Ireland. And they were a duo. We were a 7-piece. So we sat down there, we'd done it, but my actual desk had gone. And I think it was more to the back. You know, we traveling, it was like December time.
Yeah.
28-day tour. So I think he just like sort of give up his ghost. So the next day they told us where it was. I think it was Farrenbostel. I'm near no certain in my head. So we turned up there thinking it opened at 9. It didn't. It opened up at 10. We went there, bought a desk. I think it was about 450 quid. It was a decent desk. But they wanted me the picture of me and my passport and stuff because I was Mr. Crew.
Yeah.
And I got a T-shirt. I've still got the T-shirt, but it were in very small, so it won't fit me.
Cool. Well,
yeah,
we've got 7 left in chat. Do you want to call it at that? And
I think
if Simo wants to do an after party, you're quite welcome. You too.
I'm about ready to call it because I'm getting pretty tired. I've been sitting here for going on 4 hours. I had a blast doing this, Lee. So thanks for having me on this channel.
Awesome to have you, Paul, and definitely going to get you on again.
We should switch this over, do it on my channel one of these days.
Definitely, Paul.
Do another stream too over there. Geez, that would be really fun. I should do that as the next stream. We could just switch it up again. There's other people I'd like to get on the streams and stuff too. Aiden, it was nice to meet you.
Brother,
sorry,
so much.
Keeping up with you is really, really difficult, by the way. I'm just like, every so often I'm like, okay, that's what he's asking. Actually, it was kind of neat, but it's funny when you first said the A word, I think we just both thought asshole. And it's like, hey, it's audio.
Hey, I saw the first time it's been said.
Oh man, but no, this was pretty fun.
Thank you, bro.
I'm surprised I had I stayed awake enough because I got up. I mean, you know, on Sunday you'd think you'd sleep in, and it's like I didn't. I had plans. I've been going most of the day. I had a little downtime in there, but I had a good time. The timing of this one worked out really well. Also, blue smoke. I don't know if that's the LEDs making it look blue. I think it is, but yeah. You need to change the lights up, and you can change it. And it'd be like rainbow smoke.
It's not smoke, it's vape.
Oh,
yeah, I keep telling him that, pal.
It's vape. Everybody's I guess you're a vape channel. See, I don't vape. I don't smoke. So to me, it's all just
don't do either, mate. If you don't do any of it, don't do any of it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't. But anyway, I just remember that video. You ever see the video of Vape Nation, the popular one on YouTube, H3H3? He's like, I'm gonna go get the strongest, hardest vapes, and he went around. It was New York or something doing the stuff, and he had this thing. It was like Vape Nation. He was doing that, and he was trolling people. They didn't realize he was just messing with them the entire time. One of the classic H3 videos. I don't even know if they're active anymore, but they did have they were mostly podcasting at the end. But I know they made their money, so they might have just dipped out for a while because YouTube's hard. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting pretty tired. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a stream going here. You're gonna have to be on it, Lee.
Definitely.
And Aiden, I'm gonna have to. Is your channel all about vapes? You have to tell us.
Yeah, no, we have Urban LBV as well, so I do different bits on there. But mate, listen to me, hit me up, get me on there.
Yeah, all right. We'll see what's up here one of these days. It'd be cool because like we
Like
have
KGB.
I'm 42-year-old. I've been around the live scene since I was 16.
Yeah, you've been around a while. That's the thing. I don't do tons of live. Everything I've been doing is in this world. I want to get a live show going on probably YouTube or Twitch one of these days too. Like actual like live. Like
no, I'm about like I gigged live.
Yeah, gig live.
Yeah, I know you
gigged live from being 16.
Yeah, I missed playing in front of a crowd though. When you get like an actual crowd pumped up, man. It was like there's been a few times that's happened. It's just like just it feels good, when it's going well and the crowd's into it. It's just I don't know. It just feels right, And now this is fun. This is its own dynamic. I'm doing some live things. I've done a few things like on Instagram stuff, but it's not the same as being in a room. No app is ever going to replace being in a room.
No, it's not.
People
you
having
can't
like
be playing live.
Feeling that kick drum hitting you and stuff. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, there's Twitch streams on the phone. It's cool. You can see this stuff and it's awesome." It's not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
It's not. You just don't get the same atmosphere.
And the hype is just not the same as when your favorite band's coming to town and there's like the city's like almost like migrating to that show. It's like there's like that feeling you're never gonna replace that in digital.
We've not had that since the Beatles.
Yeah.
1976.
But I mean, I remember when Metallica was coming to town and damn, like it was just, I don't know, I had that feeling. Same with Ozzy. Like there was just like this hype, man. It felt good coming to town and stuff. I don't know. I didn't live in the days of the Beatles, so I don't know.
Ozzy?
Yeah.
No, you were in Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I know who Black Sabbath is. Oh, wait, hold up. What? I get so lost talking to you, man. I'm so confused. Well, yes, no. Justin Bieber was in Black Sabbath.
He was, yeah, he had a great haircut.
Yeah, I know he did. And it's great. And when Steven Tyler joined Black Sabbath and did that Beatles reunion,
it's great. You were a lot better when Brian Epstein was there as well.
I know.
All the way through.
I really like that Australian singer. What's her name? Celine.
Yeah. No. She was not Australian. She was from France.
Shoot. I mean, one time somebody convinced me that she was Russian.
Do you know what? She could have been Russian. You see the teeth before she got them done.
Guys, I'm gonna bounce for the night. It was fun.
Yeah, we'll call this, and I think Simone's going to set up an after party. If you want to join in, Aidan,
is there going to be an after party in his channel? Is there?
Yeah, it's going to be a private stream.
I gotta task this. Oh, it's cool. Well, I gotta task this computer to get my video exported stuff anyway. So
yeah, no worries.
Time for me to bounce, and
I'll catch you on Messenger, mate.
I'll see you in the group chats. Nice to meet you, Aiden.
A big love, bro.
Thanks for having me on the channel. And
big love.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody else for showing up. All right. How did you do this heart thing?
No, Benny Vape's on.
Yeah, it's Benny Vape's on.
Oh wait, I'm trying to make a penis with my fingers. No, sorry. There we go.
It's like that, mate.
Hey, you guys, I'm gonna leave the studio now. So thanks for anybody who subscribed and subscribe to these dudes too. If you're into that stuff. So I'll see you all later.
Yep. See you later. Cheers, Brian.
Cheers.
Good night.
Yep. You want to say goodbyes, Aidan?
Big love to everybody in chat. Thank you very much for making the show. You're all a bunch of stars, and we'll catch you again. Thanks so much for letting me on, bro.
The thing about it's always amazing to have you on, mate.
The thing
It
about
always
it is when
happens.
you start getting musos on, it's totally different thing of like talking about guitarists, of knowing what you actually have the front line of. And that was the biggest thing is if you're sat down there at home and you've got a little tiny amp and you're playing whatever you're doing. I'm not saying that the lad did do that, but trying to go live in front of 2,000 people or trying to get an actual, it's a different fucking ball game.
Yeah. Mixing live and mixing in the studio are two totally different disciplines.
And that's what I did for a lot of years. I did it for over 20 years.
Yeah.
It was something, and I was taught, but I was taught by people who could mix, and it's a different type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was
mixing live and
taught-
studio is two totally different disciplines.
I was taught from being somebody who could actually mix a drum kit. Now that's a total different thing. You got 7 or 8 mics on a drum kit.
Yeah, definitely KGB.
You've got 7 or 8 different mics on a drum kit.
Minimum. I mean, if you've got one of these that's got fucking double.
Well, I will look here.
Fucking
Yeah,
shit on the tone.
7 or 8. We're on about live, sitting down here, and you've got to go through all of them, and you're going pam, 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 and then, like I was trying to explain to him, he's trying to get that through a main mix.
Yeah.
So you've got a bass player who's saying they can't hear me, because bass players always do that. Bass players do not like to be sat down there; they don't like it. So you're putting that in a mix.
Yeah.
And then you've got a lead guitarist, a rhythm guitarist sometimes as well. You've got loads of different stuff that you've got to sit down there. You've got to make that sound right. So when we used to go out and do this, and we had a full massive band, you know, like clubs would let you in at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be live at 8.
Yeah.
And then you've got a massive lighting rig before it all, because we're talking like before LEDs and all that sort of stuff. You're talking proper par cans, everything that's sitting there.
Yeah.
It used to take you so long to put that up. Everybody had a job to sit there and do it, and then you had to mix what
it.
that sound was.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are, why these paid so much money? Well, you paid so much money because it takes fucking so long to set it up. It's not just the talent of you've got to sing.
Well, that's why all these big bands have the same fucking mix engineer for every tour.
Which for them nowadays isn't that bad, because, like I said before, we had a Yami desk. So a Yami desk, you'd have a look. You'd say, look, it's a small room with a small roof or whatever. You'd do it a little bit that way, so that big. You'd have certain things set up for the preset, so you could press the preset, and then it'd be 9 out of 10 times it'd fit in properly.
Yeah.
But you've got a show. You got to think as well, in these shows, we're not doing like rock shows where you just sit down there, sweat your tits off, and sing whatever you do. We were doing fucking cabaret shit.
Yeah.
So you sat down there, changes in between. There was stuff in between, everything. Where like it were a proper show.
Well, that's it. I mean, every sort of genre of music, whether it's rock, blues, pop, whatever. You can't mix them all the same. They've all got their own different.
Yeah, but you know yourself. You sat down there. If you're a lead guitarist, you know what you're going to be mixed at. So I've plugged loads of people in straight to that mixing desk. It doesn't sound the same, even if it's coming from a pedal or whatever it's coming from, unless it's going through your back line.
Yeah. You say it sounds better coming from an actual speaker into a microphone.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, any guitarist. I think you can get away with a bass guitarist.
Yeah, bass players you can get away with it.
But not a lead guitarist. Yeah,
no,
it's not got that meow. You haven't got that punch in it. And the thing you've got a lot of them as well. They'll say to me, "Give me a little bit more top. Give me a little bit more mid." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like you can change things a little bit different for them.
Yeah. I totally get what you mean.
Years and years I've mixed this. I've done it for the outside, and the thing that I've always said is that a lot of the backliners, and they talk about what they've got and what they ain't got. Well, unless you fucking mix right at the front, you've got nothing there.
Exactly.
I can make you sound as shit as you fucking want if you want. Right,
Yeah.
I need to go for a wee. Send me that
All right.
link, dude.
Yeah, I'll send you the link and I'll close it down. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Big love. Always love you. Know that.
Yeah,
Big
love
love
to
to
you, pal.
Lisa.
Definitely coming over for that beer and barbecue sometime.
Big barbecue.
Yeah.
Big love, bro. See you later. Bye.
Bye. All right, people. Thanks for coming in. Anybody that's coming late, watch us on the replay, comment, all that good stuff. Thanks to Brian for coming in. Thanks for all you guys. Thanks to Aidan for just popping in there as well. And we'll catch you next time. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.